In addition to the invisible gnome, um, and the noble and the wait, who else do we have in this mission? Put your character tokens at. I completely forgot who's actually here.
Mm, boop,
Yes, Phaedra. All right, so Logan hasn't shown up yet. When we last left off last week, you guys had made the trek from Tribor, arriving by that gate stone that you were given. Not a gate stone from the handbook, but one of the ones that was made specifically to get to Tribor and back to Waterdeep. Um, you took one of them. You went there with Fawn, Shiori, Phaedra, and Will, and have taken 2 days of travel to get to Yartar. You arrived in the early morning, discovered that people are already starting to celebrate the upcoming week's midwinter festival, um, which Phaedra is also very excited for her own reasons. Uh, and if anyone looking at Phaedra probably notices that her eyes are sparkling a bit more blue, and maybe her hair is a bit more white and almost frosted. She almost seems a bit colder to the touch, and yet hot at the same time, the gentleness of a blizzard when you're playing outside, plus the nice fire that you then warm yourself up against at night. When you sit there with your hot cocoa.
Aw, she's cozy.
Yes, exactly. Because you know how it is. Lots of people loved playing in the snow as kids.
Mhm.
Anyway, uh, so you guys were in the bar for a few hours. You guys gathered some information. Uh, Discovered that when dusk falls, the Grand Dame will be, you know, expecting various people to show up. In addition to nobles, they'll be looking for what, according to Aki, they hired. They're trying to boost the people needing jobs, so they have different people each day. And Aki says they need rowers, chefs, servers, card dealers, escorts, and musicians. At this point, as you guys head out the door to decide, okay, what exactly we're gonna do, we need a room to because weapons and armor are not allowed. If anybody shows up wearing them, they'll be turned away. So it's been suggested that you guys get a room for the day to at least stash your stuff. And as you're walking out to try to decide all this, who shall you see walking down the road and possibly smiling at you? But your friend Logan Keene.
Hey, Logan.
Oh, hey! What are you guys doing here?
Just hanging out at a tavern. We're looking for a place to stay. Uh, I'm very happy to see you.
Oh, that's a that's a surprise. Normally this isn't good, I would say.
Hey, I've never not been. I'm just. We're gonna need your help.
A little bit,
Um,
yes.
okay.
You are a musician.
Sure. Is there anything specific? Do you guys want to hear a ditty, or what exactly is it that you need?
Well, we're needing to get some information regarding, um, our current mission, and we have to go on this riverboat casino thing. And there are two ways we could do things. We can either work on the ship, or we can dress up fancy and pre- not pretend, but be I don't know uh, fancy people, noble. I don't know. Fawn, how do you put it? Nobles?
Aki looks at
Uh,
Phaedra as well and says, "It's not an all or nothing pursuit here. We can split it up, and we can. Some of us can be our noble selves. Some of us can be workers on the ship."
I mean, yeah, I guess. I don't know. there's not very many options. I mean, we could be a rower, we can be a cook or
Musician.
musician. I guess that would be good for Logan. Or we could
Escort,
be.
Aki pipes up.
I am not going to be an escort.
I wasn't
There's
suggest.
not. There's nothing
Phaedra,
wrong with that line of business.
Phaedra, I was not suggesting you.
He's suggesting the
No,
woman.
no offense. You are an attractive woman, as are you, Shiori. But I was saying is if one of us went in for that line of work, I would suggest myself. I am a bit well. He
Oh, really?
kind of trails off at that.
Phaedra looks him up and down.
I would
I
have
wouldn't
guessed it
have.
would be fun.
Aki looks over at Fawn and kind of nods.
He is quite
Yes,
pretty.
he is very pretty. Even as a half elf, he is quite pretty.
Uh, uh,
This conversation has gotten interesting, man.
Anyway, Chris, out of character, can I use this to say that I might have already been hired to work on this boat? As for the
You
reason
know,
why I'm
that
in town?
could be exactly why. You've spent some time in and out, going through the portals, and maybe you caught, a fast travel, some other fast travel here to Yartar, having heard about the Grand Dame, and it's like, oh yeah.
Yes. I mean, where does the greatest performer in all of Favorite perform but the greatest venues? Because I am a great hit in Waterdeep and Neverwinter, so I need
And
to spread the
Tribor is in between those two places, and Yartar is nearby Tribor, so that is very possible. You would be aware that you were hired by a man named Lord Casper Dryland.
I can get in no problem. Is there anyone here who would have the biggest problem of getting in? Granted, I need someone who can behave.
Phaedra raises
Yes.
her hand. Possibly me, but I can. I mean, I guess I could. There are two options for me, really. I could be a
I
cook,
mean,
which I'm not that
you
good of a
do
cook,
have the money, Phaedra.
or I could do that option, which is
Or, seeing I can't bring everything, I could use a roadie.
use what?
Someone to carry all my stuff inside, because I'm gonna have like 15 costume changes and all
You're
that.
gonna have what?
Look,
15
That's
costumes?
a bit overboard, don't you think?
it's not overboard, it's inboard. Everything is fine.
There's.
Oh, it's not overkill.
I'm sure you are aware. Weapons and armor aren't allowed on the ship.
Yes, but since when are closed weapons?
No, that's more. That's the main issue with some of us. And she kind of looks at Phaedra's full plate.
I mean,
Yeah.
if she's carrying 10, 20 pairs of clothes and like a bag on her side with, let's just say, more clothes in it, and I just tap my bag of holding, we might be able to smuggle something in there. Granted, once again, I don't want to ruin my reputation in this town.
Well, I mean, I'm not opposed to. I I could dress up nice, you know. I could. I'm. We could. I'm not very. I'm not good at. I. I never lie, really. Um, I'm not as in such a predicament as Aki is, but I'm just not very good at deceiving people.
You can be my mute roadie, that way you don't need to talk. And I seem even
You're
greater for.
mute roadie. Oh God.
And that way I seem even greater by taking care of the disenfranchised.
Right.
Oh, what, Shiori?
Just right.
I mean, I guess I could do that. I could also just go in as, the guild. I mean, we could just represent ourselves as the Iron Roses. We are well known in Waterdeep, right?
That
That's
doesn't
that's up to
guarantee
you.
they've heard of us here, or if they have, if they that would then sway their position to either let us in or to keep us out. If it's true that it's possible that simply somebody who gambled on the ship is responsible for the giant queen's death, it is also possible that the people were paid with the killers were paid with the chips by somebody high up in this ship, and hearing about the guild might cause them to turn us away.
Hmm, that's true. And the seer did, the old woman that we saw did mention multiple times it was the merchant that had possible ties to this. So, um, hmm, okay. Well, I guess I'll be Logan's mute roadie. I don't know about the mute part, but I mean, I guess.
If you want to talk, that's fine. Just don't embarrass me. Okay.
Fader just kind of like looks at him. I will try to do my best, me being a lowly dwarf, and looks over at Shiori and just kind of like smiles. This is a familiar situation. Got it.
Tobias, you okay?
Yeah,
All right.
Hey,
I had to hit Discord.
Hit it.
Yes. This
Hit it,
card is
kid.
being a bad boy lately.
We probably should. So Fawn, you're going to just be you, right? Fawn
yes.
Windstar. Okay. Will, I'm imagining that you will not be seen.
I mean, I could be seen. I could walk in as a merchant, and I kind of change my appearance, and I look a little bit more, I don't know, posh.
Will you be advertising Rania as your carrier of merchanty goods?
Uh, well, probably if someone asked me what I'm selling, I wouldn't know what to say.
Probably best you just be invisible. I mean, you're
I,
always good at it.
I go back in appearance of the armor to make myself look a little bit more just like bedraggled clothing that I usually wear. All right, I won't be seen.
And Shiori, what is your plan?
I'd probably best if I try to act the part. I suppose be a little bit more like the high elves in what specifically that one place.
Yes, I remember, mistress. She smiles.
I'm well aware you remember. Don't think I'll ever live that down.
It was fine. I thought it was funny. And she just like gives her a nudge with her elbow. So, if we've got to play the part, then we might as well dress
Wink.
up. What?
What?
Will, are you planning on making us cheat?
Well,
You
technically, you wouldn't be cheating.
kind of like just kind of like cocks her, like kind of like lowers her gaze a little bit.
I mean, he has a point.
This is true.
Like face palms.
I mean, when a die rolls and bounces against a table, Is that cheating? And what if a person's hand
I
would
don't-
just happen to...
I don't want. I don't. She covers her ears. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Just don't be dumb, okay? You do. Will you do you? I don't want to know if y'all are cheating.
Perfect.
Okay. So, who wants to dress up then? I guess go get some fancy clothes.
Well, if I can't wear my armor, I might as well. Though my coat should help with some of the armor thing. It doesn't look like armor to anybody else.
Yeah, I have minimal underneath my armor, so I will definitely need something.
I'll probably need something. If I can get something, I can just wear over this breastplate and hide it. That'd be indeed.
And Logan, I'm sure you wouldn't say no to a new outfit, or are you already too fabulous as is?
Oh, honey, I already have too many outfits as it is. But I will help you pick out yours because it needs to be.
Color coordinated?
Look, let's just say that although your choice of style is very you, it's not very me, and that's something we need to fix for this.
Oh, okay.
You chose this path.
I did choose this path.
How come Shiori has double my HP? God damn it.
Because Shiori's a beast, that's why.
Aki also has double your HP. And Phaedra has nearly double your HP.
How much does Fawn have?
34.
Yes, I have more HP than Fawn.
Fawn died in one hit. Completely died in one hit recently.
To be fair, it was a storm giant's lightning, but...
Yeah, no.
Yes, but
Still a one hit.
Can't exactly say it was just
it
a
hit him
goblin
for
spear.
over 70
Yeah.
damage. Over 70 damage, which is more than twice his max HP. So, yeah,
Okay.
instantly fried to a crisp. He is the most vulnerable one of your party.
Alright, Logan. I'm gonna regret the words that I'm about to say. Feel free to dress me up in whatever you need.
This is gonna be a fun day.
Fader just hangs her
Shopping
head.
montage!
We're going on a shopping spree for Phaedra, and we need to find her some good assistant clothes.
So basically, I'm gonna regret this. I am washing my hands clean of whatever is done. It's completely in Quentin's hands.
That's even worse!
Yeah, so
Oh god!
so whatever he wants, because like she's like, okay, I've got to play the part. So
Just-
whatever he wants to do, if he wants to style her hair, just don't. She'll like look at him. Just you can do what you want with my hair. Don't cut it. That's all I ask.
We're
Okay.
going to every store we can find. And,
Dear God.
And the montage
Uh,
music plays behind you. It's like one of those
yes.
80s and 90s what they would call the the girly movies with the best friend shopping, or the one super fabulous friend shopping for the for the woman who doesn't know how to coordinate her clothes, or in the 90s it's the gay best friend trying to shop for the woman who doesn't know what clothes.
Yes.
Anyone who doesn't apply here.
Yes.
Oh, Shell.
basically, when we're done, she looks like a Fae version of Phaedra.
Oh god.
Because that's my aesthetic. Because I
Faye?
a Fae
Okay.
version of Phaedra.
describe? I'm curious.
I don't know how to describe it.
I'm imagining, because she, she is a warlock of the Fae of the Winter Kingdom. Uh, Probably something light blue that somehow complements her skin tone, and especially going with the current hair aesthetic, which is going, white, and her eyes, which are more blue than normal, like maybe down to her legs, and somehow, you know, working with her body type instead of being trying to be forced into something that would make her look,
Yes.
weird. If you know what I mean.
She does have like giant whimpers though. Like, ooh, those are long.
So,
And in the end, though, it only matters. Does Shiori like what she sees?
is she wearing a dress, by the way?
You sure it would be?
No, Phaedra.
Oh,
Yeah. I mean, not full on dress. Like,
Okay, so not like
something
what I was
you can, like-
picturing.
I mean, kind of. It's ooh, how?
I was
how do you-
picturing a Winterland gown sort of thing that somehow
no,
works with her.
That's not Phaedra, and if things go wrong, I need her to protect me. So like, she can.
She can
It's-
summon
it's-
her
it's-
weapons, babe. It's whatever you
It's
want.
kind of-
Remember
it's
this.
kind of a half gown.
Remember, Logan. There are two warlocks in the party and two sorcerers. Vaughn, you're a sorcerer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So two sorcerers, two warlocks, and a druid besides you, the bard. So none of them actually need to have a weapon on hand. The two warlocks can just summon their weapons,
Yeah.
and everyone else can throw magic around.
If Phaedra is wearing a gown and high heels, I'm pretty sure she's.
I
gonna trip
do not
and,
think
like,
she's wearing high
accidentally-
heels. I very much doubt. I think that it's like set up to work with her body type.
Well, yes. She's dressed fakely. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah.
So I guess, what did you do anything with her hair?
Oh yeah, your hair is so big,
Big?
like big, like
Beehive,
You know-
80s. What sort of hair are we
you know-
talking here?
You know, like drag race hair, but bigger.
Oh God!
So the answer to that question is yes.
Yes.
How big is it? Yes.
So Phaedra,
No, I asked Beehive or 80s, and the answer is just yes.
half of Phaedra is Phaedra, and the other half is her hair.
Oh my God!
You have gained a foot in height.
I don't know what he did.
I'm not giving her a mirror ever.
If Phaedra's hair was any taller, Will could stand on top of her head and be gone without his imposed invisibility.
Wow.
Phaedra will like walk up to like Shiori, I guess the group, and just like be like, I don't know how I look. How bad is it?
Hold on.
Well.
Okay.
Wisdom save?
Do I need to roll this guy skit? Question mark.
Yes, actually you do. Roll a charisma check on that one. Yeah, actually, that roll reflects what you've already described, so it's perfect.
Well, you. Look.
Aki is just kind of staring open-mouthed at her. He has no idea what to
How do I
say
put
and be
this?
polite.
Will knows that he's better not laughing at the door.
Jerry, how would you put this?
I imagine like Cinder sitting on the ground and cocking her head as well.
I was just thinking Cinder vanishing into her hair, but yeah.
Oh, that would work. Looks at
Just-
Shiori.
It's
It's a
not
showstopper.
normal look, that's for sure.
I regret my decisions, don't I?
Either way, you still look great.
Oh God.
Ooh.
I was hoping that would be higher.
Versus insight.
I wanted
Versus
that to be
insight.
higher. I need to lie about this. Yes.
Fun seems to be truthful. He's your friend.
It doesn't look bad, phone? I feel weird.
I mean, it's unique, at least.
Aki is swallowing now.
The hair is a little much.
I'm
feel
not. Yeah,
taller.
I'm not sure about the hair, but everything else is fine.
Aki, what do you think?
Oh no.
He is biting his lip. He's looking you up and down. His eyes are a bit wide. Phaedra, I do not know what to say in this circumstance.
See, it's breathtaking. That's how good you look.
Words cannot describe it.
It makes sense based on who you were with.
Phaedra, give me a wisdom saving throw.
Is this magical cinders right there?
No.
No, I think it's just about the situation. Oh no.
What?
Give it to me, Grizz.
Given what Shiori just said, it's entirely possible that you now believe that Logan is intentionally trying to make you look horrible.
She turns to Logan. Why? Are you doing this on purpose? I'm trying to help. Everybody just, no. I don't. And she
They don't understand art, honey. Don't worry about it.
I can't.
Everyone on the boat will love it.
I can't.
Okay?
I could.
I'm telling you right now.
I look like a fool. I can't see what's going on. Give me a mirror. Somebody give me a mirror.
I think Logan is the only one who actually.
Hang on, I have something for this. Instead of a mirror, how about this can do what I want to do, right?
Counterspell.
Yes. How? Subtle because I know you have counterspell.
Are you guys honestly using up spell slots right now?
I don't have
Well-
counterspell, by the way.
For
Okay.
poor Phaedra, yes. Just to let her know what she looks like.
Okay, no, I was just double check. I had to ask because you guys do jest about that.
Does
Yeah,
have a mirror.
I'm literally going to do this and create a complete image of Phaedra.
So Phaedra looks
Eki backs up.
Phaedra kind of cocks her head and walks closer to the image. What the fuck is going on with my hair? Logan, what did you do? This is like adding an extra foot to me.
Yes. The height difference was off-putting, so I needed to do something about that.
Wow.
I'm not that short.
Wow, that's rude.
Rude to
That's
short
rude,
people.
Logan.
Rude.
Okay.
Read about it.
Question, Phaedra, what is your actual height?
5 foot.
5 foot? Which means with your hair, you're now 6 feet tall, which means you're Aki's height.
This is a little much, sir. Can we do?
You told me not to cut it, so that's how high it got up to. So, look, these guys, you don't understand art. You'll see at the boat, everyone will be breathless about your look.
I feel like you've got to make a deception check at this point.
Well, I mean,
I would say persuasion.
He believes his hype, so I'll go with
Okay.
either one he wants to throw. Whichever one he feels more comfortable with, he can use either deception or persuasion in this instance.
Oh shit.
I mean, it would be only a 3-point
So
difference.
you go,
but-
girl. You can hold. You can take this. You can have this look. You can make it happen.
Kind of like looks back at Shiori and then looks to Logan.
From anyone else, this probably would be deception, but Logan believes himself.
Yes.
Okay, Logan.
If you look at my character traits, god damn it, is he an egomaniac?
Yep.
Even if he's goddamn awful at choosing how to dress the dwarf up.
Yep.
Look, she'll get in. That's all she needs to do. Anyway, and I go into my bag of holding because I presume I can't take it in there. And I just keep pulling out costumes. Just more costumes. Like 5 instruments.
It's still a couple of hours before the performance,
sorry.
so and nobody
Why-
and only so far only Phaedra and Logan went off shopping. What about the rest? What about the rest of you?
I don't need to go
Hours
shopping.
to get
I've
this
got what I
done.
need.
I
Okay.
would have gone shopping as well.
Yeah, Aki is still suggesting that everybody we get a room and put our stuff there just so that it doesn't get lost or tossed overboard or anything like that.
Yeah, why they go shopping fun, probably looking for a room or somewhere for us to stay.
All right. So that means he would definitely find one, because there's plenty of places around town. Let's see if there's one listed here. Watch it, little guy. Sorry. So, without knowing any idea what these things actually refer to down here, the places of interest, I'm gonna go with the Heartwarder Hall is an inn, just because. I have no idea if that's actually the case. If anybody knows anything about Yartar, you can let me know. But in this Yartar, my version of Yartar, Heartwarder Hall is definitely an inn.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
Hardwood Hall. Light on the side of town.
Yeah. So basically, you guys, you get a room there. It's I believe a modest price room, but it's like one for all of you. So it's like it's not anything. It's not like a tiny space. But it's not one of the large. It's not like one of the cool places that you found when you were in back in
Alright.
Yeah. I was trying to remember. It's like, why am I forgetting the name of one of my own countries?
Hotel.
Yes. So in-stay modest. That's 5 silver.
Phaedra will take that out of guild funds.
Yeah. So pretty much you just get a 5 silver room because you're not really intent. You're gonna be out all night. You're basically just using this as storage, but just in case anybody needs to come back and sleep, it's there's some place. So you got all that covered. All right. Is there anything else you guys would like to do before the evening's festivities?
It was, is like finding a dress that can cover a breastplate easy enough to do?
That shouldn't be too hard. The only problem is that that will require a deception check to pull it off without anybody noticing there's a breastplate under there. If you wish to, you wish to risk it, that is on you. As for the object in question, you'd be purchasing a set of fine clothes, which I want to say 15 gold is the price for fine clothes.
Cue everyone going through the books looking for the price.
You know, that's
Yeah, 15 gold. That's what I thought. It's right next to the standard adventuring gear
Yeah.
fair. you definitely be able to buy fine clothes, 15 gold, and but again, you still have to roll a deception check to try to pull it off. I will allow that check with advantage when the time comes, because you bought the clothes, you're making an effort, and your character is used to attempting to do that sort of thing. So that will be an advantage. Anyone else? Oops, sorry, go ahead, Sherry.
This question, because I have the displacer code. Is that going to be?
You will have to remove your
Do
displacer
that.
cloak, unfortunately, and leave it in the room.
Can I keep on my boots of elven kite and my cloak of
Yes.
many fashions?
Yes. Well, Logan, the cloak of many fashions is part of your outfit.
Fair.
Ooh,
It
flying
has
boots.
many fashions.
Yeah, the things like that, they're not going to necessarily notice, but they will notice armor.
Uh, Will is going to just walk around stealthily. Like, he's basically just strolling around town.
Aki's... Oh, go ahead, Will. Sorry.
He's just strolling around town with Ronya moving ahead of him, and he's just spectating the town through the eyes of through the eyes of his familiar and through the eyes of his own. Just walking around stealthily.
Alright. Roll an investigation check for me, Will. Aki, by the way, has also picked up some nicer clothes and has left his breastplate behind, though rather reluctantly. You kind of hear you overhear some finer-looking dressed individuals talking about how much they want to gamble tonight on the Grand Dame. The sort of clothing that they appear to be wearing does sort of match what you've seen, Phaedra dressed into, though Phaedra's got a bit more of an extreme hairstyle. So it seems that, your ruse, though technically it isn't exactly a ruse, considering at least one of you is a lord of this, on the Sword Coast, or at least has, noble blood in him. What is it? Grandfather is a lord? Fun?
Sorry?
Your family. Which one of them is the noble?
Which one?
Grandfather, mother. Who exactly? 'Cause I know.
Grandfather.
Yeah, I know
On the
grandfather.
father's side.
Yeah, grandfather was working for that, but yeah. So yeah, you are a noble by blood, so this wouldn't be a ruse at all. It depends on if they know of the Windstar name, but if they know if they've heard of Logan Keene, there's a good chance they know who the Windstars are.
Hopefully they do.
Yeah, so basically, with you and the party, you'll probably be able to get through the front door, and those who would be otherwise challenged would be able to get through with Logan. You've upped your with that, and the fancy dress has upped your chances of actually getting onto the Grand Dame. And of course, there's always Tobias's potential method. If all else fails, invisible gnome, invisible silent gnome.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, blowing everything up, you won't get any information as to what's going on. Anyway, now that Will's gathered some information, anybody else have anything they wish to do before we move on to tonight?
Will could cast divination.
Alright. What sort of
I
question
don't-
would... Oh, you...
Yeah, thinking about questions also, if someone else wants to do something. Actually, I do have a question I think he would ask.
Okay.
He's going to just, I don't know, go to the docks and spectate the waves or something. And then it's going to ask the question, is there any dangerous individuals on the ship?
Ooh, that's a good one. So, Will, you see the waves increase in intensity and make weird shapes for a moment. The ones that but at a small scale, like right, almost directly in front of you,
Yeah.
unlike all the rest. Have you ever seen like the really really dangerous waves out on the water, or at least like read stories about them?
Yeah.
That's what Will is seeing right now in
Well,
in a microcosm.
yeah, so, okay, I'm just kind of getting my way
Like
back to the
you're
group.
seeing the horrific square waves.
Getting back to the group. The waves.
What?
What's this about waves?
uh, well, I believe there's one or maybe a couple people on the ship tonight that are dangerous, so keep an eye out.
All right.
The waves told me.
The waves told you. Is this like throwing the sticks up against the wall like you were
Yes.
doing the other night? Okay.
Yes, but I left the sticks back home.
Okay. Oh, there's special sticks?
Of course there's special. That's one of my trees.
Oh. Keanu Leaves and Spruce Willis?
Yeah.
Oh. I didn't know that was them.
Wait, they died?
Oh yeah, they blew up.
Shortly after you did.
Ha.
They need you. Oh, maybe.
No,
They
I
left
didn't
it.
see because I was out.
Well, I mean, when you woke up, eventually you should have just seen the blood.
There was a lot happening when I woke up.
Fair enough. Fair enough. There was a lot to take in. But they lived their life. They died exactly like they lived. Blowing up.
What?
I don't know. I never understood that saying.
I don't think that's
Oh.
quite how that goes.
No. Thank
no,
you.
I was thinking about blowing up. They were blooming. Blooming up.
Blooming up. Blooming. Okay, that makes more sense. Well, thank you for bringing them. By the way, I'm sorry that they risked their lives for protecting us, but they were very helpful.
They lost their lives protecting Aki Krex.
Everything dies. It's fine.
Yeah. Hopefully not us anytime soon.
Well, you never know. Hey, Fawn? Hey?
Oh God.
Keep an eye on the weather this time, eh?
Let's change topics, please.
What? Did you find your death shocking?
Vaughn, roll me a wisdom saving throw.
I hate Will so much. I want to murder him.
Well, I'm on many people's lists.
Okay, you're fine.
I still want to murder him.
No, that had nothing to do with you wanting to murder Will. It had something else that I
I
need to
know.
check. But yeah, you didn't develop any specific phobias after dying, so you're good.
Oh. 'Cause I realize this is also something that would be seen. Would the Ioun stone be asked to be pulled away? Because it's just like a floating stone that goes around her head.
Isn't that just fancy, though?
It's kind of fancy.
What's it? What's the stone of?
Absorption, so it's like a protective thing, like absorbs
Then you
spells.
probably should be fine.
Yeah. It just looks really fancy.
Well, thank you for looking into the waves, I guess, Will.
Well,
Whatever.
someone had to.
I don't. Sure. She just like. I guess we should be careful going in. I don't like not having my shield nor my armor. But at least I'll. And then she'll like summon Bob. At least I'll have Bob.
Hey, everyone who's like, is it just Fader who's dropping armor?
Yeah.
I'll keep it on as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Logan
Aki-
as well.
Oh, Logan.
So how is the
Yeah.
AC looking amongst you?
Oh, that. Let me check that. Hold on.
I have
Uh,
That's
12,
a
but
good
if
question.
shit goes down, I'm just gonna go invisible. So
I know
Really?
there's the way to like not wear it. How do I do?
uh, just go into
Item.
the item and click unequip.
Unequip. Yeah.
Okay, there we
Ugh.
go.
Yeah.
Plate armor, and then where's my shield?
Shield.
There it is. Sentinel shield. Oof, 12.
All right. Well,
Okay, so
if shit goes down, well,
ooh,
could
yeah, his armor class,
us
Aki's armor class is also only 12 at the moment.
see
Yeah, she's
there.
not very dex.
God.
Yeah.
We
So
could
sorry
do
for you
this
guys.
if necessary, but that's a concentration spell. So
Mhm. Well, if shit hits the fan, like Vader will be like, well, if something does happen, I can create multiples of me, and I can also go invisible if need be. Now, this is also I was thinking about this, Will. What this is a gambling ship. There's got to be some sort of protective magics against invisibility or something. I don't have you thought of that?
yeah,
Would
that's why I suggested I go in as a well-off merchant. But I'm happy to deal with any problem that comes along.
okay.
Mm, yeah.
Uh hmm. Would it be better than to do the merchant than invisible and then go invisible if it's not I don't know. I just don't want you getting caught, Will.
Getting
Oh,
caught.
okay.
Pish posh.
Um okay. Uh since it is a gambling ship and um I'm assuming that you people that are going to be not working for Logan would we want to gamble, so I guess let's give out some money. How much would y'all like?
Aki kind of looks at you and says, I think I am fine for now. I really don't want to be trying to gamble.
Okay.
Yeah, you would probably have a bad poker face.
Um, don't necessarily know the games. Gambling wasn't exactly something that was done where was from.
Well, there's different card games, different dice games. Uh, can try to teach you some. I know a little bit of Dragon Dice. I learned it while in between training at the Order. I can try to teach you. I don't. I think they might have it on the ship.
I mean, as long as I know the rules, it should be fine.
Okay.
All things work.
Um, and because Phaedra's proficient in dice, so she'll teach Yori some dice games that she would have learned in the Order. I'll leave that up to DM discretion what she knows.
I think she'd probably know a few dice games, given how she used to spend her time.
Yeah. So she'll sit down with Shiori and teach her some dice games and pull out her dice and uh, explain the rules. I imagine like Cinder probably tries to pick up one of the dice and like run off with it. No, 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 no! Back! Get over here!
Like a cat.
Yep, exactly. Cinder, no, drop it, drop it.
Drop it, drop it,
Good
drop
job.
it, drop it.
And yeah, and probably while they're doing that, she'll like lean over to Shiori. This looks really bad, doesn't it?
I mean, well, it's mostly the hair.
Dress looks okay.
Just
To be honest, I wasn't expecting this to be the first time that you'd see me in a dress. I was kind of hoping for a little later on down the road. But, you know, do what you gotta do for the mission. And, yeah. So that's it. So you'll be fine. Just remember, pairs are good, three is better. And just keep a good stoic face. Don't give him any tells.
she just stares the entire time with that same neutral expression she usually can wear.
Yeah. Just like that. Perfect. See, you'll be great, hun.
I imagine her expression doesn't change much other than like very rare occasions.
Mhm. Be great. It'll be great. And here, take some gold, and she'll give her, I don't know, 500 gold. I don't know how much is a good gambling amount. Yeah. So she'll give her 500 gold from I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be too much or too little.
1,000,000.
Whatever I don't use, I will return to the guild.
Okay. Oh, I need a calculator.
Why am I just picturing like the little like shoulder bag purse, and she's got like gold in it?
Mm-hmm.
So you're handing out the money, and you're getting ready to head to the Grand Dame.
Mhm.
All right. As dusk fast approaches, you can see the sun starting to head down towards the horizon. You and several groups of other people start heading towards the ship. Um, there are two major entrances onto the ship down the docks. One of them clearly the room for the nobles. Another one seems to be for the various serving classes, which it would include musicians. This would be the entrance, Logan, that you were told to head for. It also is including, some a whole lot of rather rough-looking people that are obviously suited to rowing work. Uh, a few people that appear to be chefs. Others that probably, work in a more service position, and card dealers. Some rather beautiful women and two men that are quite clearly of the more escort persuasion. Uh, but for musicians, there is Logan. And apparently Phaedra.
Yeah, Phaedra's following just behind Logan in a very, subservient kind of manner.
Alright.
Uh, I presume this is like a luxury yacht situation, right?
Yeah, it's a oh, okay. Let me pull it up. I've already got the other nobles just put around the ship, but let me put that up for you guys so you can get a better picture of what we're talking about. Because I already set up the yacht, the tokens there for the nobles just spread about the ship. So you guys would probably be at this entrance over here, while Phaedra and Logan, along with a bunch of other people, are at this one over here. Uh, let's see. So we got different types of people at different entrances. At the entrance to where Logan and Phaedra are is a tall man. He's wearing a captain's hat, and he is flanked by several other kind of rough-looking deckhands, both male and female, and they're kind of like watching over you guys. Actually, these guys would have come in first. They'd probably been like a half an hour before the nobles showed up. Um, But like, let's just say that Phaedra and Logan are running a little late, and he's now like scowling as Logan arrives.
Hello, good sir.
About time you got here.
I'm
And he
sorry
kind of
you
looks
know
over
how
at
fans
Phaedra.
are.
Is this your assistant?
Yeah, she helps me carry around my equipment.
Yes. Well, we're going to be having you set up on the. Double check the actual locations of things. Real quick. We're going to have you set up on the upper deck, the dance hall. You'll be playing. You'll be one of the major sources of entertainment tonight.
As I should be.
You will be allowed drinks and food when you're not performing, as long as you do your job correctly and don't mess up on your own instrumentals for being drunk. And the way the tone this guy is keeping, it's kind of clear this sort of thing has happened before.
Look,
Yeah.
I'm not like the other ruffians you hire. I'm a professional.
Yes, so says so says Lord Dryland. Well, this is my ship, even if he owns it. I am the captain here, which means I am responsible for its safety. Um, after you finish your performances for the evening, sometime past the middle of the night, you will be allowed use of various escorts if you so desire, or more access to the bar. And he kind of gives you instructions as to when you'll be expected to perform.
Thanks. Is there a room where I can set up and prepare?
Yes, that is called the Grand Hall. That is where you'll be shown to.
Thank you.
The dancing hall.
Chop chop. we got a lot of setup to do.
And
Okay,
that would
come,
be
sir.
this area right here.
Where?
Yeah, right there. Meanwhile, Fun, Aki, Chiori, and Will, along with a group of other nobles, who, again, they're tokens I've already placed around the area, are being brought onto the ship. In front of you is a rather, fine-looking man, who seems to be the owner of this rather ornately decorated riverboat. He is, he's wearing some fine, noble attire, and interestingly enough, he has a rapier at his side with what looks like a bejeweled octopus-shaped hilt. It's actually quite intriguing. Standing next to him is a woman with a at the top knot. She's dressed in yellows and greens, like a rather fine yellow gi with some green serpents designs on it. Bronze skin, black hair. It's like chopsticks through her bun, and she's like standing there, and it seems like she's the muscle on this ship, or at least or maybe his bodyguard. And he is just like reaching out his hand and shakes everyone's hand as they come on board. So glad you could come. I hope you enjoy the evening. And then as you guys come, it's like, I don't think I've met. And he extends his hand a little bit towards Fawn.
Yeah, Fawn.
Lord Casper Dryland. And you are?
Fawn Winstar. Pleasure to meet you.
Winstar. Yes, I have heard that name. You nobles out of Neverwinter, and, well, I imagine that you're only from Neverwinter now that Baldur's Gate is gone.
Yes. Sad news that.
Pleased to see that you seem to be faring well and enjoying yourself.
Gotta keep your spirits high.
Are these your companions? And he kind of
Yes,
folds an eye
they
over
are.
the rest. Shiori, this is your time for your deception check at advantage.
Hold on, Sherry.
Okay. And are you invisible, Will?
Yes.
Okay. So he's only looking at the three of you, and he kind of nods and reaches out a hand, shakes Aki's hand, and looks him up and down, then shakes Shiori's hand and smiles gently. Welcome aboard the Grand Dame. I hope you will enjoy the festivities. There's gambling all through the main deck, and in an hour there shall be some nice music. Up on the upper deck, I managed to secure an up-and-coming performer by the name of Logan Keene. He'll be performing for us tonight, and hopefully through the rest of the week.
You know.
Don't you guys dare ruin my gig.
About that.
Shouldn't have brought
About
us with you about that.
It could have been worse. You could have brought Gamel.
How do you know
So-
Gabriel isn't here somewhere?
You
He
know,
might not be. He might
there
not
it
be.
is.
He might not be. He might
There it
not
is.
be as invisible as Will, but he has a way of getting around and nobody notices him, especially now. Now that he can actually pose as different people.
He's the Lord you're talking to.
Out of character question.
What?
Hey, Rick, what's that rune card do again?
That's for Biddy.
Oh,
It
that is
allows-
for Biddy. Never mind.
Yeah, it allows him to make a critical hit.
That's right.
Yeah, it's because if you ever go back to the Mad Mage thing, those rune cards are from that.
I was looking for a rope to have.
Yeah.
You know.
Sorry. I was just like zoning out and I was like, what did that do? I forgot.
That's fine.
I attempt to steal it.
Yes.
Reach
Vader
the
token. Vader token, like at the bottom of the tries to yoink, so it goes over her head. No, I'm just playing.
Like you see the the woman just kind of looking you guys up and over as you all enter in. And there's already a bunch of other nobles inside, and the Casper Dryland is still shaking hands as they arrive and enter in. Let's see, first area description. The area you guys enter in through, there's you go into a tiny corridor, but you hear a lot of mirth and people talking over here. And you enter in and discover yourselves in the casino. Yeah, there we go. This large cabin has been transformed very clearly into a gambling hall, the centerpiece of which is a gold-plated wooden sculpture of a goose that rests on a table at the aft end. There are glasses of fine wine all over the place, several of them being carried around by servers. Aki instantly, takes one and starts drinking. On one end of the on one wall hangs a rather unflattering portrait of a fat, foppish, grinning man that looks a lot like the man you just met. Although the man you just met is, a bit looks like he is a bit more dignified than what he looks like in this picture. And it is across from the spiral staircases that leads up, where Logan and Phaedra happen to be at the moment, busy setting up, along with some of the deckhands that come in and out. Much of the floor space of the casino has been taken up with tables and various card games, and two dice games as well. So it's 4 card games, two dice games. And you see dealers and shooters just sitting, or not shooters. What's the term when you're the one managing the dice table? What is it? A crooper maybe?
Oh, I don't know.
It's not a dealer, but it's similar. As you look around, though, you see that nobody's handling gold or silver or copper or platinum. Everything is being made on those coin-sized wooden chips with the picture of the golden goose on it. And it's looking around, it's it's quite clear this is the only place that that chip that was apparently found on the dead body of the queen could have come from. That this is the gambling chip of this establishment. You apparently will need to trade out whatever money you brought with you for chips in order to gamble. After a few minutes, when several more of the nobles filter in, the woman you saw outside, whose name you do not know, walks into the gambling hall and starts observing things. Basically, think Vegas casino pit boss. That's the type of vibe she's giving off right now. She's keeping an eye on everybody, watching for cheaters. And she definitely keeps shooting glances in your guys' direction for some reason. Um, the After a few more minutes, as there's like a loud whistle off of the ship, saying, "All hands to their positions, get ready for launch." As soon as the ship starts to move, the man you met before outside, the Lord Dryland, starts walking through the casino with an octopus on his shoulder. What would you guys like to do?
Hmm.
Hmm.
I guess sure is gonna be like listening for any like talk that about like giants or dragons or whatever.
All right, roll an investigation check.
Because that's a, probably a topic being talked about still. So at least the giants.
Yeah, some people are kind of whispering here and there, like saying, "Yeah, some things up north that are not going so well, but yeah, they haven't really hurt us over here, and we're making money. All's well. Tribor's recovering nicely," someone else says. "I've heard that the fire giants were beaten back. We'll show those tall beasts." You get kind of like talk like that as you start filtering around.
And she's probably just gonna head to a dice game and basically pretending like she cares about gambling. She's just like, I don't. This is fine.
But are you going to gamble?
Technically, just to keep her cover.
Okay.
Aki sits down at a card table and starts playing cards as he drinks his wine.
Will is gonna stay. This is a table with the golden goose
Yes.
statue on it, right? Yeah. So, is there like a cloth hanging from it, or something like that?
Doesn't appear so. Aki trades over some of his money to one of the servers to get the actual coins here.
Mm-hmm.
Shoriori, see, Will is currently up on there, up next to the goose. Apparently.
I'm not. No, I'm beneath the table.
Oh, you're under the table.
Yes.
Let me double check to make sure that there's actually a table, not okay. Yeah, it is resting on a table. So yeah, there's underneath of it, and there's a couple like wine glasses that have been set down around it. Um, as for cloth, yeah, I imagine there's like a nice cloth there, probably green in color, hanging
Yeah.
down, maybe with
So I'm
some
walking.
pictures of the golden goose on it.
Yeah. So I walk around behind, so I don't disturb the cloth, so make someone look. So I just step in and stand here, and then I just.
Roll me a stealth check with advantage because you're invisible and can't be
Right.
heard.
Advantage stealth. So there it is. Did it roll?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
rolled.
You're all good. So Will is hiding as always.
Just standing there, listening in, and sometimes just peeking out to see what's different about how things look, because I have the cloth in front of me.
Yeah, sure is probably servants, and she'll probably not the full like 500, but like enough to like play for a little bit.
Okay. So how we're gonna do this is roll me 3D100s, and this will be what happens during the next hour. What does Fawn wish to do?
Well, most fun will probably mostly be. Oh, hang on. Yeah, you have. Hang on, sorry. Just give me a second.
Who's rolling a hundreds? By the way, this is just me.
Yeah, I was asking because you're sit down to do dice game to gamble. So 3D100s.
All right, sorry about that. So fun gonna not do too much gambling. Like, he's probably gonna go from, like, different tables, but mostly he's just gonna keep his ears out for the most part, and mingle with some of the other nobles, just hoping to hear of anything that might help us in this situation.
Wow. As fun as like not gambling too much and just like just keeping an ear out for information. Roll investigation check. Uh, not long into Shiori's rolling of dice, people start gathering around her table and keep cheering out as she typically rolls very well. And she starts amassing a rather large pile of chips. This eventually, after a while, you see the enforcer woman watching you. But not long after that, the noble with the octopus on his shoulder comes over, um, and like smiles down at you. It's like, you're new here. Your name Shuri, yes?
Yes.
You seem to be having a good time. And he takes a glass of wine off of a nearby tray and offers it to you.
She'll take it. She's not gonna take a sip of the one. She goes, I must admit, your establishment is quite nice.
Yes, and I know for a fact it is your first time here, as I've never seen you before. Where are you from, exactly? Yeah, I know I do not think that you are a noble in town, but you do seem to have quite a bit of nobility behind you.
Far north. Near Luskan, actually.
And how goes you with the current giant situation?
Well, there's a reason why I'm down here, not up there.
Well, I am pleased you were able to at least, get out of there safely and feel the need to come gamble with us tonight. May fortune continue to favor you. And he kind of looks over at the octopus on his shoulder and says, well, come along, I need to get you back in your tank. Make sure you don't dry out up here. And he turns away from you and starts walking off.
It's like the idea that Shuri has no idea what she's doing. She's just rolling the dice.
Yeah.
just rolling
She
the
always
dice
just
and all
being
of a sudden you
extremely
have, like,
lucky.
And
you
soon
have
she has a
watches.
pile of... You have 1,800 goose chips after the hour finishes.
How many goose chips did she start with?
500.
Boy.
That's a large return.
No wonder they came and checked on you. We barely set off and we already made a huge loss.
Shuri is like just like rolls and then sees what the person says and basically is like, yeah, okay. It's like, no, I'm done. I'm just listening.
Will is how does it look for like doors and stuff? Like, are they? Because I'm a little bit. I can't really tell with the map.
Yeah.
This is a wall and this is also.
Yeah,
so
this
is a
like these
corridor.
are doors. This is a corridor. I'm glad I at least found a map. I was originally going to go with we're just going to do complete theater of the mind here, but I found a map and decided, okay, you guys deserve a map, even if it's not the best quality of map. It's still a map. It's better than nothing. But yeah, these things here are all doors, and then there's the corridor out here, and then there's the wall on the other side of the ship over here.
So Will is probably just gonna take this opportunity to explore a little bit. So he's gonna go up the staircase.
All right, and you see Logan and Phaedra setting up.
And I don't say a word and just keep walking.
You just ignore them.
This
Yeah.
door closed, open.
Yeah, that door's closed.
Any open door along this corridor?
No, they all appear to be closed. And there's more than just nobles occasionally wandering around and wandering into the the performance space and everything. There's also like various crew members that look rough and tumble,
I'm
like
listen.
they could handle themselves in a fight, whereas the nobles look like they would probably shriek and hide. Basically the nobles look like Fawn and everyone else looks like Phaedra.
No, I'm gonna like listen in at each door.
All right, roll me a perception check. Actually, yeah, perception check.
Oh, I rolled those with advantage. For reasons.
Yeah, so while Phil is listening in at doors, Fawn is picking up information about some people have lost out big. Like some people lost in Tribor before. Like they were they had lost some of their businesses in Tribor because of the giants. But they've been ever since coming to Yartar, things have gotten better. Especially since they started gambling. Although, from the look at the state of dress of some of the nobles around, as Fawn is observing them, they look like they are nobles on their way out. That all they have left is a title and their fancy clothes, and that they're desperate to actually win some money because they are otherwise broke. I mean, basically, Fawn, your family, even before you brought home that half a million dragons, your family was still doing pretty good. Now your family is very fucking rich, very fucking rich, and to the point that you're using
correction. Fawn is rich.
Yes.
It's his money.
But you
the
also,
family's.
but you decided to spend it on rebuilding the rebuilding Castle of Neverwinter.
Yeah, spent a lot of money on that.
But and your family's benefiting from that generosity. So, but yes, yeah, you're basically learning like that you are you are very fucking rich. And these people, they might be nobles in title, but some of them are very broke and are probably
They're not going to be nobles for long, that's clear.
Oh yeah, they're probably gonna have to sell off their title just to make ends meet, or they're just gonna jump off a bridge. But or jump off the ship as the night goes on.
There's a
Will
lot less passengers.
Yeah. Yeah, Will, as you enter in, you basically hear a strange movement of water from the sounds of it coming from this room.
Oh, okay.
It's very strange because like there's all that water out there with the rowing and everything like that, but inside you're not really expecting, especially on the upper deck, to hear the sound of water like that, water sloshing.
Well, I knock on the door and keep walking.
After a moment, you see the noble who greeted your party at the beginning of the journey poke his head out, looking around. Yes, and he's looking up and down. Logan, from where you're at, you're setting up and everything like that. You hear a voice calling "Yes" down the corridor. You did not hear the knocking though.
It's just calling yes?
Yes, you hear a voice calling "Yes," question mark sort of.
Can I look into the hallway?
Sure.
Okay. Why does this guy yell yes?
Like she's looking, you're looking back and you see this the guy that greeted you, and then he kind of looks back and it says, "You, Logan Keane, yes? Did you knock on my
Yes.
door?"
No? Why would I?
Interesting. And he closes his door again.
Police looks at Logan. Come on.
Yeah, continue doing our makeup.
Welcome back.
By the way, Shiori, as you continue with your money and gambling, you notice that there is a server is offering you a note.
Take it and read it.
and it's entitled Lady Shiori. I would enjoy the pleasure of your company to discuss business after the performance. My cabin is directly next to to the dance hall. Um, if you are so inclined. Signed, Lord Dryland.
Uh, she can't really pocket it. She puts it in like the little whatever she's carrying her money in, basically. Just kind of gives a bit of a nod.
What room is Will located in at the moment?
I didn't even see where Will went. Sorry. Will is
Well, I'm
very
not
sneaky like that.
That's
You are currently on the bridge. You see
Hooray, I
a
steer the
man.
ship.
You see a man in a captain's hat, standing in front of the wheel, looking at things. He looks very rough and tumble, and he has multiple deckhands, at least six, deckhands standing around in manning different stations. Basically making sure things are going okay, sending things back and forth, checking out the windows, checking the rigging, all sorts of stuff like that. And, like, they all look very rough and tumble. They look like, they could actually do something in a fight and beat people up if need be.
Will is currently like looking out for the dangerous people he thought might be here. So, is any of these the dangerous
They
ones?
look dangerous. They look, as I said, they look like they can handle themselves in a fight.
Tough. But not dangerous though.
Depends on your point of view. Basically, if you started some shit, these guys would be dangerous.
Okay.
Basically, you'd being your normal you, yeah.
Well,
Stupid.
in that case,
keyboard.
he's done here, and he's gonna walk down this set of stairs. Go back over here, I suppose.
Alright.
It's just making a loop.
Well, I'm doing some
shenanigans.
shenanigans.
That's just fine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
So, what?
Who?
what do we lose?
No, we did lose somebody.
Quentin.
Quentin.
Oh, Logan vanished. That's not good. It's almost Logan's curtain call. Let's see. That is room 7. What is that room? I believe that is the dining hall. But let me double check. Yep, dining room. Will, you've arrived at a room full of tables and chairs with narrow, winding avenues between them. White gossamer curtains, lush purple tablecloths, and precious-looking silverware and gaudy crystal chandeliers are a testament to the obscenely lavish taste and decoration. You see various servers mingling through, serving people food. And this place is actually rather crowded. And the waiters are already showing a little bit of strain. But you see basically people dining on various good, very good dishes. And all sorts of things you could potentially swipe and cause chaos with. Knowing you.
Later. I'm on intel duty. Do I think it would be tough for me to walk like across the room and out of a door?
No, not
whilst
with
people move?
not with all this traffic. There's like doors opening and closing, swinging around. It'll be very easy to do that.
In that case, I think I would like to like get out into the corridor and then just move along the wall. Just get.
All right.
Hey, Quentin's back.
Yay.
Yeah.
So this is all technically still inside.
Yeah, the upper deck I think is out and is like out in the
Yeah.
open air, but except for like the cabin itself.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is like all around there.
And
And I'm back.
Oh,
Quentin?
Uh-oh, we're losing Quentin.
Power rear in a minute.
that should give you a better idea of what you're looking of the sort of people that are wandering around. That's what I mean by rough and tumble. They look they don't look like they're about to rob you, but they look like if they were in a different line of work that they could easily be the kind that were about to rob you.
Ah, yes. All right. Oh, there's more people here as well.
Yeah, it's basically these are all deckhand types, so they're like back and forth in the ship. I'm not going to bother putting in all the rowers. The rowers would be annoying. There's 36 of them, for God's sakes.
You know, row the boat.
Gently down.
Yeah, I think during this entire time when other people have been gambling and things and that, Will is just making his way back to the Golden Goose green cloth table.
Mm-hmm.
So you can decide when he gets there.
Alright. So, Quentin, are you ready? Oh, crap. I see him lit up, but I don't hear anything from him. No, this is bad. We need the bard. We actually need the bard.
Quentin, no! We had so high hopes for you.
Hello?
Yay, we hear him! Woo!
Okay.
The bard lives!
You're burning.
Let's start off with enhanceability, because I'm the caster. Let's go, Eagle Splendor.
Yeah, so Aki takes a fresh drink and goes up the stairs.
Imagine like Phaedra's off to the side of the stage, and not on the stage.
Yeah, if the performance is gonna happen, Fawn will go up there too.
It's like such a small room for a dance place. But hey.
How long have we been here?
At this point, an hour.
Alright. Well, Will is going to stop using his invisibility cloak while he's on the table, because that doesn't have that much time to use. Like, can only use it for another hour now.
Fair.
He's gonna instead rely on using his normal stealth, so should I roll for that?
Sure.
Pass without a trace. Boom.
Oh, God.
Jesus.
I like how it's higher without the invisibility.
Oh, God.
Well, invisible, I don't really need it.
Mhm.
Alright. I'm staying put down there.
So, Logan, you do see your other members of your guild come up to support you. Phaedra, you definitely see your friends, other than Will, of course. Will could be in this room. He could be in another room. You have no
Yeah.
way of knowing.
She assumes that Will is somewhere.
No idea. Sure, he's gonna hand like just
There are days there's days potentially when nobody's sure if Will truly exists, or if he's just a collective delusion because of how stealthy he is.
you know. Sure would hand Aki the note, just kind of like subtly. I guess like when during the
Roll a sleight of hand check.
Nope. She would want someone else to know what's going on.
Alright. Aki looks down at it and reads it quickly and nods. And then kind of glances towards the one side of the dance hall where the Lord Dryland is actually leaning against the wall, watching Logan.
Can Phaedra try to see this go down from
Uh,
where she's standing?
Given her passive perception, yeah, she probably notices Shiori shows
She
something
doesn't
to
have the
Aki.
shield on.
Even
It would
with
have to be active perception.
your passive, everybody has passive perception. Your passive perception, even without the shield, is still high. So you would have seen that sleight of hand. You would have seen it out of the corner of your eye.
Okay. I think it's actually 14 without the shield.
Oh.
That's why.
I thought it was 16. My bad. Well, I'm just gonna say that you kind of see Shiori and Aki
Okay.
talking.
I thought I was playing in the big room, not in the small
This
room.
is a bit. This is technically a big room. The map dimensions. This is like the second biggest room on the ship, basically. The biggest room is the casino hall, which they don't have enough. That's where all the tables are. But this is the one with the stage. It's where all the music lovers. And it's definitely bigger than that room that you started off in 2 years ago, almost for the heist, more than a year and a half ago. Because guys, it's been about 2 years since we started this game. Not all of you've been here that long, but it has been 2 years. And Shiori's still alive.
Sure he is.
Shiori has been there since day one. The thing. But anyway, um,
Don't worry.
I'll guess I'll make a performance check.
yep. And there are more nobles in here. So that's with all of your tokens. It's much easier just to leave them where they are.
Okay, I was disappointed for nothing.
Only your friend showed up.
There's friends. There's a bunch of nobles. There's the guy who owns the ship. Other people are off eating or gambling at the moment, but a bunch of other people are in here just enjoying your time and attention.
How many hours am I slotted to play?
2 hours is in your contract.
And in the first hour, I'm gonna entice those few nobles that you said were here, and I'm gonna use enthralling performance. So they all need to make a wisdom. So three of them need to make a wisdom saving throw.
Is this directed at everybody or just at anybody that's in the room?
Three nobles that I pick. So I'm just looking
Okay.
at like three people who
So,
seem like. They
Are
could-
you including Lord Dryland in this?
I don't know.
He's the
That's
he-
not.
he's the guy with the okay. So you're not trying to enthrall Lord Dryland, is what you're saying?
I'm trying to just pick like three like nobody nobles
Okay.
who look important enough so that they can spread the word of my magnificent music.
Okay.
Good luck finding people who look important.
Yeah,
They may look important, but they're not.
203 of the people of the nobles are clearly enthralled with what you're doing. The third that you attempted to do this to, he doesn't look like he's changed at all in terms of his disposition towards you. That doesn't mean a bad thing. He's just not enthralled.
It's fine. At least no one knows I'm doing this, which I love
Yeah.
about this.
You know,
Yeah. Gonna keep on playing.
So which instrument are you playing?
Right now I'm playing. I think I'm playing my lute and I'm singing along as well.
All right. Do you have a particular song, or are you just playing something nice because you got a 20 something in your performance check?
Oh, I'm playing one of my all-time hits from my Neverwinter tour. Playing one of my classics.
All right.
Buy the CD on your way out.
So you're hearing level. The rest of you, if you're not familiar with Logan's music, Shiori is because she was at that first performance, that hearing Logan at that Noble's Estate. Who nobody remember. Well, no, wait. Yeah, Shiori, you definitely remember who that was. Anybody who wasn't, I sent. Never mind. Never mind. I only sent one or two people information. But yeah, Shiori, you definitely remember the day that you met Logan in that weird place and Hines and all of that.
chaos.
All those shenanigans. And memories are stirred. Fun. I imagine memories are stirred for that moment too, since you were sort of there. But then your brother took over.
Sort of, but sort of.
Yeah, you just remember meeting Logan and then switching off with Biddy and running away. Yeah, Phaedra wasn't there. Will wasn't there. But Logan and Cheery and Biddy were. But yeah, Logan. But Biddy and such did not experience Logan's wonderful performance. Shuri did, and this is a different song. Logan.
Yes, I'm just playing music for 2 hours.
No, I mean, you're looking. You glance over at Shiori, and I imagine that it also sparks the memory of the first time you met Shiori. She was just randomly in an audience, and you didn't realize she was working with the same people that had hired you to do that performance.
Hired, yes.
What a night that was. Even with
It
the
was
dead.
it
Even
was
with
the same night I disappeared into the ether. If I'm not
Exactly, which is why it's burned into your memory. Roll a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no.
Come on.
It was the same night that you went on your planar tour.
The performer might go insane. The performer might panic.
Yeah, you just get images of that night of Shiori. The first time you met Shiori when you were playing music. Your step falters for one moment, and it's like one moment only, and nobody else probably caught it, but you. You're like, everyone else. Your music is flawless. To you, you stuttered for a moment, thinking of that day with the nobles and the dead people and the other folks that you met.
Oh, poor cat lady.
Don't worry, that was only her first F. She ain't more.
And then the events of that evil portal, and you now know better. You will not stick your arm into a portal if you see another portal.
What's the chance of it happening twice?
With this group, who knows?
Yeah, high. Very high of this group.
It's about a 90-10 chance.
I like those odds.
Never tell me the odds. Anyway, so second hour. Whap. Second hour. What's what
9.
your performance? New performance check, please. More nobles, different nobles that come in and out. The two that you enthralled are still there. But now there's like a different set of nobles, like, other than your friends have filtered in and are listening, and some of them are dancing, and others are just enjoying your performance, drinking.
Let's go enhance ability.
Holy shit!
Alright.
That's 2 nat 20s with advantage.
Wow!
The fuck?
Logan, I just as an experiment, roll me a 1d20.
Holy shit.
Fuck.
Do I get an advantage on this as well?
No, just roll me a 1d20. Just like just hit R 1d20.
Watch it be a 20.
Okay.
Almost.
Close! Holy shit!
Well, fuck.
A lot more.
We might need those high rolls.
During
You're
the
stealing
course
them from us.
during the beginnings of your performance, a lot more nobles just come streaming into this room because the music is so beautiful. They're just forgetting to gamble now and are coming up here.
The references from an hour before aren't even correct. It's even better than they were told.
Mm-hmm. So this room becomes suddenly completely packed with people.
Oh, no, they might not hire me anymore because they're losing money.
Yes. You're too good.
But Lord Dryland is standing there, and he seems to have a tear in his eye, and like, this is so beautiful. He doesn't seem to care that he might be losing money because less people are gambling. But the entire dance floor is now packed with people just standing and listening to you, Logan. And does everything any of the rest of you are going to do, or are you just standing there absorbed in the fact that your bard is the bard of bards, practically?
Is this a moment I could do shenanigans?
Yes.
Oh, good.
I would say this. She's probably listening, but I'm half expecting only to hear about how good he is.
What's the purple
Okay.
dot for, Will?
That just shows that I am hidden.
Okay.
Pink is concentration.
Yep.
I'm gonna lose concentration though, but the thing is, I'm gonna stay under this table,
Okay. Stay
and I'm
hidden.
gonna. I'm just peeking out at the moment, and I'm just looking for which one of these nobles looks like he's having the worst time.
Probably this one almost directly in front of you. His, from your position, you can tell that his clothes are a bit threadbare at the bottom, and that maybe he had a minor glamour spell up at one point, to try to cover that fact. But now it's like clear that his that he is down on his luck, and he seems to be doing badly. He almost has no money in front of him, and other people just keep taking the money that he's trying to win.
All right, I'm going to step back into my table and cast Conjure Woodland Beings. Oh, woodland, whatever again.
What are you summoning?
8 pixies.
So 8 little glowing balls of light appear directly in front of you, and you hear little giggles.
I kind of just sit there and. You need to. All right. There's a man
do we do?
out here. He needs your help, and you need to be quiet and invisible.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
He's rolling dice.
Okay.
Now it's very important, and I'm gonna explain like what he needs to roll.
Okay.
Because I imagine Will has picked up what is good and what is bad during the time looking around.
The pixies like look at each other and start nodding and all fly out. But you know they shimmer from these little balls of light to being completely invisible, and you have no idea what happens then. But suddenly you start hearing gasps from somebody. It's like, oh, looks like Lady Luck is finally smiling upon me.
And it's just going to be 8 pixies that are each taking turn to like kick the die into the direction so that it lands with a good face up.
We'll give
And
you
I'm-
give you a wisdom saving throw at this point as well. I just want to say something.
All right, wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, you feel like there's an invisible hand patting you for one moment.
I'm feeling good about myself, and I kind of want them to focus on this guy. I want him to just have the best night of his life.
Poor man.
Somebody is smiling upon you, Will. Somebody is smiling upon you.
This is perfect. And I'm just sitting under the table.
He's doing the rest like cheating, and he's not even doing.
All right. So Logan is still playing, and any of you guys up here wish to do anything other than observe Will? Observe Will Logan.
Would you say that everybody is adequately distracted?
Yes, they are all fixated on Logan's performance.
Perfect. So if there was some sort of a stealth check, would that be at advantage?
I will allow that. Yes.
Cool. Cinder's gonna crawl out of Phaedra's hair.
Aww. Little Christmas dragon.
And Cinder is going to, because Phaedra saw that note getting passed between Shuri and Aki. She wants to know what's going on, so she's going to send Cinder over and I guess crawl through legs, and then make her way over here.
Aww, cute little dragon. Come on, make that roll.
Oh,
Nice. So, you basically feel Cinder leave your space, and suddenly, Shiori, you look down. Cinder's there.
She'll just kind of drop the note for Cinder to take. Just kind of. Everyone's distracted.
Cinder, just kind of like a cat does, rubs up against her leg and will grab the note and then bring it back over to Phaedra.
Mm-hmm. And Phaedra can also read that it's an invitation to Lord Dryland's quarters to discuss business.
Phaedra looks up for a second over at Shiori. She's got a look on her face. and then just kind of nods. And she'll pocket. Well, she doesn't have a pocket. She'll shove the note in her hair with Cinder when Cinder crawls back up there.
The hair of holding.
Yeah,
Oh my god!
the beehive of holding.
Oh my god! That is a perfect thing!
Fuck, she could have probably put the bag of holding up there and add her armor. Damn it!
Pulls out armor out of hair.
For
Don't worry, guys, I got this. Give me
it's-
10 minutes.
Yeah, it still takes time to don your
Yeah.
armor though.
Yeah, I know.
Sure, but the enemies are confused for 10 minutes at least.
Yeah.
Alright,
Please hold.
so with that, just as Logan's performance is heading to an end and Lord Dryland is heading back to his quarters, we will take a 5 to 10 minute break for bathroom calls.
Perfect.
Perfect.
I'm gonna make that man so rich.
And so in trouble because they're gonna assume he's cheating.
I mean, after a while, you will just go like, "Oh yeah, he's hasn't lost how many games? He's cheating."
Here's the worst part is he has no idea and they have
Yeah.
no way to prove it.
So imagine Zone of Truth. Are you cheating? No.
That's true.
Oh, Puri Pet.
Yeah, baby.
I think best part. I'm found out. Okay, all 8 pixies. Polymorph.
God.
Welcome back.
Thank you, robot.
Let me snuff your allspark, man.
How about no?
Oh god.
I'm so scared whenever you guys say shenanigans, because I'm so afraid I'm gonna lose this job.
Don't worry about shenanigans.
It's fine.
Everything's
I'm just being
fine.
Invited.
Look, I'm just
Not
gonna
the
throw
world
you
for
guys to
everyone.
the charge if something happens.
Don't you worry about the shenanigans.
Hey, to be fair, Will's the only one doing shenanigans.
Yeah.
I'm helping a guy out. Also,
You're helping him whether he wants you to or not.
My assistant is pulling stealth checks.
No, she's not.
Well, technically, Cynthia, yeah.
Does my voice sound different?
Oh god.
What?
What's that?
It is I, God.
Oh, God. What's going on?
you're not the only one.
You're not the only one.
All right, Eden.
Oh. That. I'll be honest, this is the first app I found that actually is decent quality, honestly.
I'm not even sure if mine is decent quality, but it was like $4. I was like, fine, whatever.
Oh, what one are you using?
It's called the Voice Mod Pro.
Yeah, that's what I'm using too.
Hey, same one.
Yeah, I just did the lifetime fee for it. Like, you know what, fuck it.
I just realized if I'm gonna like do another week of performances, I need to convince Phaedra to be my assistant for a whole week.
Do you need a assistant?
I mean, I like having one.
Do you
makes
need
me
an
feel-
I just
makes
love
me
that
feel-
line of questioning. It's like, do you need an assistant? I mean, I like having one. It's not an answer.
It makes me feel important.
Well, to be fair, Logan currently is important.
Logan's
I-
also important.
Chris, I object to that. I am always important.
Exactly.
I object to that.
I don't.
Robots take over the world.
See, even robots like Logan's music. And they don't even have heart.
That's a terrifying laugh, I realize that.
Why is there a random squid in here, by the way?
That's not a squid. That's an octopus, and that's the pet that was riding on the guy's shoulder for a while.
Okay.
You guys all back? Are we ready? Ah, there's Phaedra. Phaedra was missing the robot invasion.
Oh, I am familiar with the voice changer.
No. I mean, actual invasion. The robots were invading the world, and Logan was either fighting them off with his music, or was the reason behind it, depending on whose story you hear.
They were working for me.
Yes,
They wanted
yes, like I
the
said.
whole world to know how great Logan is. That was their prime objective.
So if you guys are ready,
If Logan could, he would build that robot army.
Phaedra has a plan.
Oh
alright.
no.
Hooray!
After the
Go- Please behave, assistant.
Oh no,
after the
Phaedra had a
performance is
plan.
over, people head back down to continue gambling. And Will would notice that there's now attention being paid to the guy that the pixies are helping.
He's fine.
Oops. Testing.
I can
Hello?
hear you.
Hello?
Tobias's mic. Okay.
Oh.
But you guys are currently in the dance hall. Ostensibly helping Logan with his things. What would you like to do?
I guess sure, kind of. Because we were alone, right, at the point?
Yeah, the other people have wandered off back to like the dining room and the gambling hall.
Lord Dryland wants to see me alone in his room.
Yes, I read that on the note.
Oh.
After the performance, she's done.
Good luck.
I have an idea if you would like extra set of eyes in there. Just in case something were to happen.
Okay.
Cinder crawls out of Phaedra's hair. I could make her invisible, and she could go in there with you. And I could see through her eyes. That way, if something were to happen, and you weren't able to communicate it with us, I would at least know.
She nods.
If you want, I can add a little sparkle to your eye.
Just looks at you confused.
To my back, and I pick out this beautiful feather. This elegant feather, and I put it in her hair, and I give eagle splendor. So you have advantage on all charisma checks.
Nice.
Staring at you, like, why are you putting this in my hair?
Hal, don't worry about it. Like I've been saying, Phaedra, you guys need to elevate a bit, and this just gives just that right amount of eye catching towards your beautiful eyes. Because your dress is fine, but you don't accentuate your good assets. Let's just say.
I think she's beautiful just the way she is.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I'm just pulling more attention towards it.
Right.
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 Just start walking.
Yes, Vader will cast invisibility on Cinder, and Cinder will crawl up around her shoulders and just be on there, and Vader will stay in the room with Logan.
I'm allowed down here, right?
Yes, yeah, it's after the performance.
Okay, so Vader will stay down here and pretend like she's like,
Dusting my clothes.
yeah, folding clothes or doing whatever with the instruments, and she will peer through Cinder's eyes.
Now I'm worried she's gonna break my instruments.
Not sure, knock on the door.
Alright. And you hear a voice from inside. Come in!
You wanted to see me.
Alright. He is currently sitting at a desk. Inside the room, you see that his bad taste continues. with purple velvet curtains and scented candles and gaudy candelabras. In the middle of the room is a table with a large aquarium tank resting on top of it. The aquarium contains a coral reef that you can see an octopus kind of curled up inside of. It's the same octopus that was sitting on his shoulder earlier. Uh, you can see that there is some kind of shelf underneath the aquarium. There is a desk which the man is currently sitting at. There's also a silk hammock and a small table holding a silver wine decanter and a matching goblet and an iron stove. In fact, there is a second goblet that he is currently picking up and setting down as he moves over towards the table in question. Come, sit, have a drink with me.
She'll sit. What is this about?
And he pours out some wine and sets the cup in front of you. Well, as I said, you seem to be faring quite well in my establishment, and you seem to be a lady of great taste and means. I was hoping that we would discuss maybe a little business. If you have either moved or are planning to move to Yartar.
It's a possibility, I suppose.
Oy. Sneezing, want to sneeze. What I really hate is when you go to sneeze and then it stops and then you try to talk again and it starts again. Oy.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm hoping quite soon, in fact, to be taking on the position of the Water Baron here in Yartar, and would very much like to have various nobles in town who have like-set minds, shall we say, that we can maybe together do something rather spectacular. There are, of course, the old guard in town who have been here for so many generations that they fail to see the lack of, shall we say, progress with Yartar. Things are not as smooth as they should be. And I think that, especially with the fresh blood displaced by the giants, that we can make something very special out of this town. Perhaps become another one of the glowing cities among the Sword Coast.
Okay.
Do you-
Intriguing.
Do you have a specific line of work, or are you simply a lady of means?
I. More merchant, I guess, I suppose.
He sips at his wine. Really? What sort of commerce?
It used to be first farming goods, but then more silks and what.
Ah. Do you still have access to your network? I really hope they weren't taken down by the giants as well.
That old network was taken down, but I've been setting up a means through deep in everyone.
Oh, good, good. And
Hence my
do you, do you have a shop front of your own, or do you supply them, perhaps? Do you need perhaps some setting up of contacts with the local establishments? He takes another sip of his wine.
I think I'm good enough now. I've been working with Fawn. I helped out his family a bit. So.
That's good. I've never met Minstar, but I do know their reputation.
No.
They're quite a prominent family, and if they are still thriving, then well, they have come out ahead of many others. I was saddened to hear about what happened in Baldur's Gate, the storm and everything.
Yes.
Do you think that the giants caused it?
I don't think so. They're have been more up.
Oh,
north.
really? What makes you say that?
I don't know. It just doesn't
I mean, storm giants, a giant storm.
True.
Bothersome peoples, aren't they? One of them dies, and suddenly they have to go killing hundreds, if not thousands, of people along the mainland.
Did you hear anything about that? I heard. I heard that one of them died. I didn't know anything more than that.
Roll a persuasion check. And remember, you have advantage.
Hooray!
Come on, don't fail us.
You say this.
Well,
Maybe
a
I should
16,
never say that
a
ever
16
again.
isn't bad.
No, it's not.
Especially better than the 12 that could have been. Well, I did hear that perhaps one of the other giants took out the supposed queen of the of the storm giants and has been attempting to blame it on us smaller folk in order to cause a war. Not only the giants attacking us, but they're attacking each other. This is unacceptable. Do you agree? I mean, you lost a lot in this conflict.
Yes. I'm going to insight check.
Go for it. I don't think I'm gonna beat that, but let's see. Oh, definitely not. You're staring at him, and you know that he is, he's telling a lie that he's told many times, that he has rehearsed well, but you can see it for what it is. That it is theater. It is his attempt to pass something off, and that he knows a hell of a lot more.
Consider do something.
What would Cinder like to do? Cinder's
Sense
invisible.
emotions on Dryland.
All right. Sensing his emotional state, he is eager to get Shiori to, basically getting Shiori as a new friend or a new associate, someone that he can potentially control and or do some really good business with. I don't know exactly what the emotions for that would be, but it's like that's the sense and emotion that you're getting off of him. Eagerness is the top one there.
Okay.
It's interesting. No, that does remind me. I did hear they found something interesting.
Oh,
A wooden coin?
you mean like one of my casino chips?
Yeah, I believe it had some sort of bird on it.
Exactly like my casino chips. He's now giving you a strange look, and Cassinder's getting waves of confusion off of him. Considering how many Shiori currently has in her possession, pretending not to know what it is really confusing the hell out of Lord Dryland.
Well, I didn't hear what was on the coins. I don't know if it was one of yours. I mean, I'm sure there are others.
Mine's the only one that uses a golden goose. He starts relaxing a little bit.
I didn't say goose. You did.
I love that.
He then looks confused, and there's a slight of fear in there with Cinder. I'm sorry. I can't think of any other ones that have a bird, and mine is the goose, and goose is what I'm aware of, and everything.
What's the phrase? Goose is cooked?
He kind of like
Interesting
sits
phrase.
back, and you can feel a little bit of irritation, but mostly fear. Fear coming off of him, Cinder. Perhaps we should talk later. I think I feel a headache coming on.
I'm sure you do. Trying to think of more story. Must be hard.
Well, let's see. How would you like to handle this? Are you attempting to persuade him into talking, or are you going to try to intimidate him into talking?
She's trying to be more intimidating at this point because she's like, yeah,
Then
he's
roll your intimidation check, and you still have advantage because of the
oh,
feather.
good.
He grits his teeth and sits back away from you. Look, I really do have a headache. I think we should maybe talk later. I think you are confusing me, my dear. still very much like to talk business, but right now I need to lay down.
Hmm. I would most honestly like to know what more information you have on that death of that giant.
Well, I don't know anything. Cinder, you know he's lying.
She's
Awesome.
yeah. Cinder would communicate telepathically. Lying.
No. You and I both know that that story is already done.
Listen, Lady Shiori, as I said, I've already said my piece. Now, please kindly leave my quarters before I ask Pow to come up here. Or perhaps ask the good captain if you wouldn't mind intervening.
I'm not really afraid of them.
Oh, well, Pow can handle herself in any sort of situation.
I'm sure she can. So can I. I've already killed a few giants myself.
Roll a new intimidation check.
That giant one really scared him.
Yeah, I rolled a second nat 20 for that, but that's still way higher than what he can do. His eyes are wide as dinner plates. Because again, I do not automatically skill checks do not automatically succeed or fail for nat 20 or nat 1 in my things. So a second nat 20 in a row is not going to help him out in this situation. But he is staring at Shiori now. You've killed giants yourself.
And dragons and whatnots. Anything that's gotten in my way.
He swallows hard and just downs the rest of his wine. Cinder, you know he's terrified.
She would communicate that to Shiori.
So what do you know?
Listen, I really shouldn't say anything. I'll be. It won't be good for me if I tell you anything.
Be good if you don't. If you don't. She
It's
materializes her sword.
Mm-hmm. Knew this was coming.
I don't even know if you even have time to stop anything. The Sea Mother is nearly awake, and when she is, she has that giant as a meal.
The sea mother.
Yes.
Does it have to do with the storm?
The storm is, and he kind of like says something about the Kraken Society, and Kraken Society summoned the storm to start waking her up. She's still in the she's still mostly in the elemental plane of water, but there's a whole one that's been there for the last 20 years, and they're trying to wake her. Well, we're trying to wake her.
Ah, so you're part of this society.
Yes, and I've been promised Yartar as my own.
Mm,
But I won't for much longer. Not when they find out that I'm talking to you. And his eyes just dart backwards and forwards.
well, I don't think there'll be much of a problem.
Oh, you don't know them.
You don't know. I will say this. Where do we need to go to stop this?
He's, well, the king, the king of the storm giants. He's on a ship, the Morkoth. It's sailing around the northern islands of the trackless sea. No, no! He starts screaming, and all of a sudden, blood comes running at us, and you hear running up and down the corridor. Phaedra and Churi as Lord Dryland slumps over dead.
Phaedra drops concentration and runs into the room.
Where do I hear heard the running?
Running is right up and down this corridor. Like you hear footsteps running and echoing down that corridor.
Is this a door or a window?
That's a door.
Looks like a window to me. Like
I can't.
because
I can't
these
tell
are
on.
not-
I can't tell on
like-
this stupid map. I'm just gonna treat. I actually.
Like-
Yeah, you're probably right. That probably is a window.
to,
So
yeah, to me, because
yeah.
they're much
Interior and
fainter
outer
than
orders. But yeah, you hear running down the wall, and you thought you saw Aki run past all of a sudden, like he's chasing
It's a mall,
somebody.
and she's smashing through the window. That's where she would go.
The octopus in the
Oh.
tank it kind of climbs up, bit of its tentacles out of the water and seems to be peering around, and it's like staring out at the body.
Fade runs in. Aki's chasing someone, I think.
Okay. I'm right behind you.
Aki's just standing there looking over at the side of the boat. And he looks aggravated. Too late, aren't I?
He died.
Got
Glad I
distracted.
got information.
No, at least we got information. We should probably get out of here as soon as possible then, or somebody blames us.
How do we get off of the ship? I mean, how far off the can she like? Are there any
You're like traveling, down, along a river, and you can see a shoreline. You can even see like lights and everything like that. It's not like you're out in the middle of the ocean. This is just a
Okay.
riverboat.
Okay. Well, let's collect everybody, and then are we gonna swim? I guess.
I'm gonna transfer this wood coin into something useful, I suppose.
Well,
And then I can just vanish. I know about it. I can see the coast. That's all I need.
okay.
Because she has Dimension Door.
How many times can you use that spell per day?
Twice. Well, for a short rest.
Yeah.
Okay. Be quick. Let's. I'll gather up all the stuff and. I guess I'll go up and get Logan and everybody. Where do we meet?
It's up here, I suppose, on the side where it's easier to get off.
Okay.
Or wherever it's easiest to end.
Okay. Here, keep Cinder. And she'll crawl around her shoulders, and Fader will go upstairs or go down wherever
Yeah.
and gather
So-
everybody.
While we're doing that, meanwhile, as bad things are happening on that side of the ship, what were you guys doing down here? Logan and Fawn and Will. Will, you're observing that the woman in the robe is currently talking to the man whose luck had changed. He's like, "But I'm just lucky. I'm not doing anything. It's like you do have a magical aura about yourself. You have a bit of a spell casting. It's not too out of the picture that you could be using some kind of telekinesis."
Oh god.
Will is. I mean, he's doing his best not to laugh. But it's hard for a gnome.
Poor guy. His luck only just changed.
For the worse.
Is she wearing shoes?
Oh, Fawn is over in the eating hall. Okay.
Yes, fans all the way.
No, he's wearing some fine loafer type shoes. And she's wearing basically sandals.
Hmm.
But she like stares at him for a minute and then frowns and goes, You are telling me the truth. And she starts looking around because she suspects something.
Um, hmm. I think Will is going to put his hood up and go invisible.
All right. So, what is Logan doing during all this?
I'm socializing,
Okay.
talking to my adoring fans.
Oh yeah, they're flocked around you. I imagine that they've been asking for your signature. Some of the ones that still have money in their household are basically trying to hire you to play some other gig. Some of them, like probably small time, and all that. But
Of course. I might be able to fit you in somewhere.
Um.
Might take a while.
so while that's going on, what about you, Fawn? You're in the dining hall.
Fun. Just having a nice time and mingling with the nobles, trying to get these noble, like, get some connections with more nobility.
So both of you are basically just smooching. Pronunciation problematic.
Yeah. I mean, in the beginning he talked a lot of things. Hmm.
So yeah, those two are just talking, talking and gathering information because I cannot say that word. I tried for, and I still can't.
Smooching.
I can see it in my head. I can hear it pronounced in my head. I cannot pronounce it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
feel that.
I hate that. So the woman in the robes has moved away from the guy whose luck has changed. The guy whose luck has changed decides he's going to play it safe and cash out for the night because he doesn't know what's going on, why his luck is better, but he didn't like the fact that she was staring at him and thought that he was cheating for a while because
How much gold has he made?
he's made a decent amount. Let's see how much.
I just wanted like have a number on it.
For reasons.
Technically no gold at the moment. He just has those golden goose coins. In
Oh,
fact,
yeah,
that reminds me,
absolutely.
Shuri. You still have the. You don't have the gold. You don't have the 1800 gold yet. You just have those coins, the wooden
Yeah, that's what
coins.
she's gonna cash out.
So yeah, so he has over 400 of those chips now.
Well, that's good. I feel like I've done a good thing for him.
Mhm.
I'm gonna like. Do it.
Phaedra, you're gonna have to roll an animal handling check for that.
Quit. Octopuses be slippery.
In fact, while you're doing that, roll perception check. Because while you were, doing reveling in your good deed, Phaedra is attempting to take the octopus out of its tank.
Scoop it out.
Mm-hmm.
How long has it been since I started
Yeah.
cheating for this man?
It's been about 20 minutes.
All right.
Phaedra, the octopus attempts to slap your hand with one of its tentacles to keep you away from to keep you from touching it, and it swims deep into the tank.
No.
Phaedra,
Mm-hmm.
so what do you wish to do?
Um, she'll continue on, I guess, upstairs and gather everybody.
Downstairs, you mean?
Wherever, yeah, wherever the
All
deck
right.
is.
Shiori, do you stay with Aki at the moment, or do you go anywhere else?
She'd head down to kind of cash out, saying she's been
Okay, so you're probably in the
playing a
casino
safer
hall then.
evening. Yeah.
Will, you probably know Shiori come back. Logan, you may or may not, so roll perception check. Logan?
Yes.
Perception check, please. Yeah, you do not notice Shiori at all. You're too busy being surrounded by adoring fans. And some of them are handing you drinks. And at least two of the escorts are currently nearby, watching you, grinning at you. Shiori, you would notice Logan out of the corner of your eye being surrounded by people as you go to changing your tokens in for coins.
I don't know which side would be the one that's the closest to Yartar, but she would be on that side of the ship, leaning over.
Probably this side over here.
Alright. So just be like theirs, leaning, looking out.
So yeah,
keeping an eye out.
You see Shiori, after exchanging her money, suddenly leave the ship, leave the area again, out into the corridor. Meanwhile, Phaedra, what about you? Where are you at the moment?
She wants to try to get the octopus because the octopus might have seen shit, and Will might be able to communicate with it.
So the answer is you're going to go find Will and try to get him to get the octopus.
Yeah, she's gonna. Yeah, because said she was gonna gather everybody up because they said that they were meeting here.
Okay.
So she's going to head down there and try to get.
And of course, you don't see Will. You do see Logan. He's holding court.
Oh God. Master. Master Logan.
Yes.
I'm having trouble. There seems to be. I might have
What?
accidentally.
Did you screw up the fabrics again? I leave these. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm very sorry. My assistant is rather, let's just say, inadequate at her job. I gotta go check if she screwed up my equipment, basically. Give me a sec. I'll head off. Don't you give me that stare. I will cut your paycheck, you know.
Sorry, Master. Let's go down to the. Come on.
Up.
Let's
Up. It's
up.
This is the upper deck.
Go up.
Will, do you stay there or do you follow them?
Well, I just noticed the things, I'm gonna follow them and have my pixies join me.
Okay. Do you let them become visible once tell them to become visible once you get up to the second
No.
floor? Okay.
No.
Just curious.
They're invisible.
Alright. And you're invisible. Phaedra probably doesn't even know you're there.
Well, I gonna turn visible over here.
Did you guys do something again?
We need to leave. We need to get off the ship. Lord
Well-
Dryland was murdered. We need to. We didn't do it.
So,
We didn't
so,
do it.
so you drew me away from my alibi.
Logan.
You
This is
pulled
not,
me away from my alibi.
Logan.
That's what you're doing right now. He's in the room next to us.
Will, there's an octopus in the other room. I think if you can communicate it with it, just grab it. We can hide it in the luggage. We might be able to know who Dryland is meeting with. Go get the octopus. Where is Fawn? Where is Fawn?
Yeah, I'm back,
Logan!
guys. Yeah, she screwed up some of my fabrics. Anyway, let's continue our talk.
This entire situation is ridiculous.
All right, I'm going to get the octopus.
How do you think?
Hide it in the fanciest thing you can find in the luggage.
Will, as you get into the room, you see that on a table is a tall aquarium. The lip of the aquarium is about 6 feet in the air.
Oh shit.
Who puts an aquarium that high up?
If you go south Phaedra's area, you might be able to reach it.
Okay, don't worry, I got this.
Looking up, you can see the octopus. Roll a perception check, please, Will.
All right. Let's see here. Why am I getting heist feelings here?
Oh my god!
Maybe
Okay.
someone died.
Okay, here are the things that you notice in this room, because you happen to be underneath the table. You happen to be low enough to see underneath the table, which even Phaedra didn't see. You notice that beneath the aquarium, built into the table, is a shelf on which rests a locked wooden chest. And with that high enough of a perception roll, not 20, and the fact that it's a 28, you can tell, even without checking it properly, that the chest is rigged with some kind of needle trap. You also notice that the octopus is curled around a small miniature dead man's chest that is lying on its side, with what looks like a tiny key half hidden in it.
Alright, can I climb up on the table?
Sure. Well, let's see, athletics check.
Here we go. Go on, Will, you athletic stud. Last one.
You're grabbed onto the table, you try to pull yourself up, and your little legs are swinging, and that's as far as you can get.
Pictures around me are laughing at me.
Yes, a bunch of twinkling lights just come into view and start giggling. Phaedra, roll perception check.
Perception.
Oh, everything's
You
going
don't
wrong
you don't
now.
hear that. You don't hear that at all.
Come on, this is harder than look. I can't fly.
Do you want to help? One of the little pixies squeaks at you.
Yeah, come on, then pick me up.
All right. And you feel the pixies all getting underneath of your feet and just boosting you up onto the table with the aquarium.
There we go. Thank you. That's a good deed. All right. I'm standing eye to eye with the octopus now.
The octopus is curled around the tiny chest in the aquarium, and it blinks up at you with its big eyes.
Hello, I'm gonna have to ask you to join me.
And how do you wish to ask it?
Get out of the aquarium.
It shows no sign of understanding you.
All right. I'm not sure if this if this doesn't help or not, but that is what I have naturally.
Small beasts. All right. So if that's the
But I-
case, the octopus kind of pulls a few tentacles up out of the water over the side of the tank and lifts itself up, blinking its eyes. It blinks out at you. The chest
Come
is left laying at the bottom of the tank.
Come on. Get over here.
It pulls itself up, pulls itself out, and curls around Will's, well, technically around his head and shoulders at this point. So Will now looks like he's a tiny Illithad at this moment, except orange in color.
Mini mind flare.
Yeah.
You know my phone. All right.
You feel its suction cups all over you.
Oh, this is cozy. Okay, so I'm gonna get out of the table and go out again with the octopus on me.
Yes. Well,
Ah.
Phaedra, as you turn around at the sound of Will's voice, the sight that greets you is essentially is essentially a tiny mind flare that's orange. Roll a wisdom saving throw.
Why?
That's all that your mind can process when you see this. You don't realize it's Will in the octopus right away. Your brain just goes with the tiny mind flare.
She will summon Bob.
I have an octopus on my head as I see this.
Roll a perception check at disadvantage.
Well, I have the
God.
shield, so normal.
Yes, you can kind of peek around the side of the octopus and see that Phaedra is just summoned her battle axe.
Oh, calm down. Calm down.
Will?
Yes?
What? Oh!
Octopus?
Oh!
Phaedra?
I thought it was. Oh, I thought it was. I thought you were a mind flare.
Alright, so I got the octopus.
Okay.
There is treasure in there.
Oh.
Yes.
All right. Here. Give it here. And she will open up the luggage. She wants to pull out the fanciest, or possibly Logan's favorite piece of clothing.
Which
And
come on, Phaedra. It's the same thing.
This is true. So yeah, the bougiest, fanciest, gaudiest thing that's in
That
this
he's
bag
not currently wearing.
that he's not currently wearing. And she is going to wrap the octopus in it and put it in the luggage.
The octopus is communicating frantically to Will that that it is unhappy with this idea. It does not like being enclosed. Will?
No, I'll keep it.
The octopus tightens its grip on Will. Suction cups just kind of thing as soon as Phaedra attempts to put the clothes around it.
Phaedra almost got her revenge.
Almost, Will.
It's still
If you want some mischief, I can do it.
At this point, Phaedra might notice there are 8 little glowing lights around him.
Around the octopus?
Around Will.
And the octopus.
And by the fact that they're there, the octopus, yes.
I imagine. Is it squids or octopus that have 8 or 10 arms?
8.
8.
Octopus, by
So
definition,
8.
have 8.
Yeah, so each pixie is holding up a arm of the octopus and just
The
dancing
octopus,
it around.
the octopus does not look happy. It tries to communicate with Will that it's not happy about this.
Oh,
Deal with it.
oh, she kind of does a circle motion with her finger. I will ask about this later. You said that there's stuff in there. We need to hurry because we need to get off this ship.
Well, just go in, break the aquarium, and then there's a key in there, and then under the table that is on is a chest. It's trapped with some kind of a needle trap, and I think it will be fine if you use the key.
Okay. Phaedra will.
I'll join you just in case.
Okay. Phaedra will go into the room, and
you now, thanks to Will telling you about it, can see that there's a little tiny treasure chest sitting at the bottom of the tank.
She'll click her flying boot so she can get up and then reach down and grab the chest.
And the key that falls out of it.
She will reach back in and grab the key.
No, the key falls into your hand. Sorry, that's what I meant to say.
Gotcha. Sorry. And she'll take the key and then go underneath it and open it using the key.
Click, 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 and you get it open, and you see a pouch containing 450 gold, and another pouch containing 9 small gemstones worth about 50 gold each.
You got that?
Yep.
Right.
Okay. She will pocket that, and then she will tell Will, meet on this floor. The the front
By
of
the
the
way,
ship.
Will, at this point, you might notice that there is a broken window right here.
Yes, I noticed the broken window before I noticed the dead body.
Yeah. Well, you were expecting the dead body. You weren't necessarily expecting the broken window.
Um, okay. Yeah, go to the front of the ship. Cinder's up there with Aki. We need to get off.
Okay.
So, just meet up there. I'm going to go try to find Fawn and get Logan. And so,
You're going to get both of them?
well, I mean,
I have an octopus on my head. If I could go invisible, it would be quite fun.
oh, that's right. Okay, yeah. If you want to go get Fawn, I can go get Logan. It makes sense for me to go get Logan.
You're serious? Great! I head off.
Why, Phaedra? Why?
Why
head off.
not?
Towards the captain with a
Well,
octopus on my
does Will
head.
know where Fawn is?
I turn invisible.
Does he know where Fawn is? That is the question.
Well, he's somewhere on this ship.
Somewhere on the
And-
ship, yeah.
I have 8 pixies following me as well, holding the arms of the octopus out.
You might be able to control the octopus token now, by the way. Can you move it?
Yes. Yes.
Does it move?
Look great.
Yay!
Alright. So, with Will being invisible, the octopus on his head, probably not.
Well, no, the octopus would be underneath the hood anyway, and so it would be part of the invisibility.
Okay, so I can just pull it over its head and
It
So
tries
now
to
he
give
really
you.
looks like
It tries to
Mike Myers.
communicate you with the simple idea that it does need water. It can't stay dry for too long. That
Alright,
being
well-
dry will kill it.
Alright, well, hold on, I think I got something for that.
Sure can spritz it with her decanter.
Moisturize me. Moisturize me.
Moisturize me. I thought I could do it with Druid craft, but I guess not. Yeah, no, won't do anything about that just yet, but I'm just gonna keep walking.
I mean, he was walking around with it for at least an hour at the beginning, if not more, so it should be.
For
Um,
half an hour. He was only out and about with it for half an hour.
Half an hour? Okay.
I'm just checking. I think Will is now just invisible, opening doors, looking for Fawn.
Alright. Phaedra, what do you do as you see Logan?
Master!
You would actually be about here since you came down the steps that he's standing in front of.
Master Logan!
Yes.
I really need to see you.
Really think that's a bad idea?
No.
I would start heading back to Glen. Do I hear this commotion as I'm coming back in?
I think you would, yeah. You're keen for Phaedra's voice.
Once again, I'm sorry. My assistant, who is very incapable of reasoning, needs my help again. Why can't you take care of the clothes like I told you to? God damn it. I'll follow her again.
Can I pass and follow up the stairs?
Go for it.
So she'll kind of just follow.
Logan, we need to leave, and we need to leave now.
You're,
With the shit.
you're literally telling me to leave a crime scene. Do you know how fucking hard that's gonna implicate me? I have a fucking job. I don't know what you guys do. Everyone knows who I am, and if I just up and leave, and there happens to be a dead body, I'm pretty sure they're gonna be like, that Logan dude did it.
Or they'll be the one. They'll think it's the one that he asked to meet privately in our room.
Yeah, but I still left without telling anyone. They don't know who you are. and they know I was like literally in the room next to him. How did he die anyway? That dude needed to pay me. Did you kill him,
He-
Shori?
No, he just bled out of his everything there. I
Aki,
think.
yeah, at least it looked like Cinder saw Aki run past the window. Aki's trying to chase after somebody.
That's good. Yes, let me flee the crime scene and implicate myself. This is such a bad idea.
What if
Don't
you were
leave
taken
any-
from the crime scene instead of fleeing?
That's an idea. Come on, Master, let's go.
You guys owe me 1,000 gold.
Fader will pull out a pouch of 450 gold and a pouch holding 9 gems, 50 GP apiece. Throw it at Logan. Here, if money's all you care about, take your fucking money. Let's go.
My reputation is also gonna be dragged through the mud again.
Dragging him out the ship. Out the door, dragging Logan.
Aren't we like in the middle of the sea right now?
No, you're on a river.
It's a riverboat.
Yeah.
Still.
She already has Dimension Door. Sorry.
Yeah, that
Dragging
makes...
Logan by the collar.
And Logan, as you're being dragged, you would see that this window over here is broken.
All the goodwill is gonna be thrown out the window. Great.
And she will meet up with Aki at the front.
Sorry. Where is everyone? He asks.
Logan's right here. Pulls Logan up. Shuri should be just right behind him.
Against
Will is
my will, I might add.
Will is looking for Fawn.
Will roll a perception check.
I'm gonna...
You did that. Okay, sorry.
I'm
what was that
gonna
for a
break my loot and let it lay here, and so that people might think I...
Oh, your poor loot. What did it do to you? Anyway.
Should I? Since the octopus is invisible,
Yeah,
it doesn't obstruct my vision anymore.
correct. So roll perception check.
Cool.
Yeah, you definitely see Fun. Fun, what are you doing at this point? You seem to be eating. Is that what you're doing?
Eating and talking to other nobles.
Alright. You're having a lovely meal of fish and other interesting things from around the sides of the rivers, the various cuisine out in this way towards Yartar.
And probably drinking some wine.
Oh yeah, some nice wine, especially after that good performance that Logan did. You have no idea what your companions have been up to.
No, I don't. Nor do I care about what's happening. It can only be bad.
Will, what do you do?
Will tells his 8 invisible pixies to fly on over and whisper into Fawn's ear that he needs to get his ass upstairs and outside of the boat.
So, Will, as you're finishing eating and hearing someone tell a joke, you hear a tiny whispered voice in one ear and another tiny whispered voice in another ear, whispering at the same time, saying, "You got it. There's trouble. There's trouble, Fun. You have to get up and out now. Time to go."
Fun just looks around.
And you feel like wind, like tiny amounts of wind brushing against your ear, kind of like you would feel if like if a large bug got too close.
Well, if you'll excuse me, I think I'll be going back to the gambling area.
Will heads up and out and around.
I'm gonna go through this way.
Yeah, so you're not going past all these people.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't know which direction like is up and out here, but so you choose.
It's
Well, this is gonna be an interesting situation.
good.
Far away from the dead body. You have no idea about it.
End of the crew.
Not behind? Nope.
Yeah, you feel the nice, the nice sea, the nice river air is brushing past you. You do not see your companions anywhere.
Did they leave this door open?
I
Mhm.
imagine they're smart enough to have closed it.
Will didn't close it.
Fade would
Yeah.
So Fran has absolutely no idea.
Nope.
Which
You
is
will
a
see.
good thing.
You just look like you're another noble out for a stroll, enjoying the night air.
That's in front of Captain. Whatever's
Quick,
happening,
If he goes around it eventually, he would realize.
Yeah.
Like, he was told up and out, so.
Well, I've checked 50% of the boat. I guess they're not here.
I checked this whole half.
So
Of course,
eventually you
yes.
see Aki. Will, are you still invisible?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, you see your companions is kind of gathered around over here at the side of the boat.
Watch it.
Oh, sorry, Will. So what's all this about?
Roll a perception check, by the way, Fun.
Looks like a very angry person is looking at the phone.
As you move past Will and nearly bump into him, you feel something strange for a moment. It feels almost like a tentacle touching your leg, and then drawing back.
This is fine.
That's fine. So what's going on?
We're leaving.
Why? What happened?
We will talk about it when we reach shore. I can carry one person.
So the shore,
Hey.
shore's not too
Question.
far away, right?
Question, guys.
You can see it from here.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're good at flying
I am.
with wings.
She's got the boots, the winged boots still.
Well, I figured we could just all turn into birds.
Ooh, you have mass
I mean-
polymorph.
I can just swim.
Boring.
I mean, sure.
So,
What about the octopus, though?
this will fit on the back.
Fun. What's your response to that?
I'm. I would really rather just swim back.
You don't want to fly.
I can bring Fawn to shore. How's that sound?
That's fine. We need to go, though. Will?
Okay. I still don't know why we need to go.
We'll tell you later. Let's go.
How far is the shore from this boat?
How far is your dimension door spell?
500 feet.
Yeah, I imagine it's within that range.
Meet you guys there. She'll like push past. I gotta scroll out. Place her hand on Fawn's shoulder. You ready?
Sure. Fawn just is the most confused person ever, so right now.
He is confuzzled.
And like a scattering of ice, they vanish.
Are you coming back for anyone else? Oh, so you can only do it twice, so therefore you
She'll
it's
probably keep
one
an eye
way.
out, but she just told that they're gonna fly or somehow.
So,
The compendium is not loading for me. I was just gonna check something, but
so basically, what it boils down to, Logan and Aki are the only two that don't have a direct route off the ship, because Phaedra can fly with her boots, and she can carry Will and the octopus at the same time.
But if Will turns us all into birds, we should be good, though, right?
What I'm saying is that depending on how much that spell can handle, you only
Oh.
need you only need to use it on 2 people.
Okay.
Actually, that's probably a better idea. Rather than turning us all into magnificent birds and getting the attention of the people in the cabin, cabin next to us, maybe you carry me, the octopus, and then I turn Aki and Logan into nice furry little creatures that will fit in a pocket.
Okay.
You okay with that, Logan?
Logan?
Your silence has a yes.
Yeah, no, Logan is angry.
What are you gonna turn Logan into?
A ferret.
He is a cute but angry ferret.
And Aki turns into a mouse.
He is a very black mouse for some reason.
And, yeah, I think that's it. I think Phaedra can carry all of these. And if the... And I'm not the one casting these things, it's the pixies.
Yep.
So the pixies are also on Phaedra.
Phaedra will put Logan and Aki in her hair as they fly.
See, it became useful.
So, Shiori, you see Phaedra flying towards you with Will and an octopus. You do not see the other 2 companions.
Just get close. A little bit of Aki and Logan.
Points at the hair. I got him.
Get out of her hair, boys.
And she'll pull out a mouse and a ferret.
Rather
And put them on the ground.
Rather strange, very dark mouse.
And a very angry ferret.
It's still adorable
Childish.
though. He's still the most adorable ferret you've ever seen, but he's very angry looking.
I pet the
Does
ferret.
Logan try to bite Phaedra? Whenever she reaches a
Such
hand
an
up?
adorable ferret.
Do
Yes.
it.
Ow! Logan!
I turn him back as his mid-bite.
Oh god.
Phaedra gets crushed.
No. Logan is not nearly dense enough to crush a dwarf. A dwarf is
Ow!
a dwarf might be short, but a dwarf is dense.
Logan! That is unnecessary. I'm sorry that you didn't want to leave, but...
Why exactly did we have to leave?
Yeah, I second that question.
Well, there's a dead
Will
body.
Will is
Yeah.
now. Sorry.
Yes. A dead
I'm
body
sorry?
on a ship with no one else to blame but the people who just disappeared.
I'm,
It's like implicating ourselves 101.
I have to kind of agree with Logan on that point. It is sort of implicating. It definitely
like-
makes us suspects.
I mean, it does so hard. It's like, who would have murdered this person? Let's see, who is all on the ship? Oh, it seems we are missing 5 people.
More than that, because let's see.
I mean, I don't know if Will counts.
Oh, that's a good point. They wouldn't have counted Will, so because they didn't see Will.
Yeah.
Alright.
Well-
If you want, I can send you right back there.
I already faked my own kidnapping. I just need to hide for like a month.
And
No.
Aki kind of looks at him and says, "Considering your attitude, I'm not sure that the term faked is required here."
There.
How about this? I could rough you up a little more, make it more believable.
Sure, but not the face.
I guarantee nothing.
So-
Captain was a member of the Kraken Society, apparently.
Yes. Responsible for the storm at Baldur's Gate. Looks over to Fawn.
you guys even find what you were looking
So
for?
who are these Kraken Society people?
Aki kind of looks at the group. I've been talking, and the Kraken Society. They apparently are trying to bring, from what I've been understanding, some kind of very powerful Kraken. The same one that we encountered in the Feywild. And he kind of looks around and tries to remember if any of you were actually there at the time. And says, and reset forms himself. Let's see, it would have been the same one that I and some of the other Iron Roses before they became Iron Roses necessarily encountered in the Feywild. He finishes. Did they tell you about that?
Yes, Rhiannon was talking about the Sea Mother being a large kraken.
Yes. Apparently, they're trying to wake her up here, bring her here.
Yes, and the Storm Queen is going to be something going to be fed to her.
Storm King.
Storm King. Yeah.
Okay, because the Queen's been dead for a while.
Well, you said Queen at one point, so that's why.
I said if I did, it was an accident, and I think it was. I was trying to say that the Queen had been murdered, and
Yeah.
it was the King that had been taken. So it's my bad if I accidentally said Queen instead. I just say King.
He is located on a ship called the Morkov, located in northern. So that's where it is currently located.
Oh, it's a good thing you got that information. The only thing I heard about such a ship that the people were on, that the Kraken Society is on, is that nobody can find it. That it's hidden from divine view. That the Sea Mother makes it so.
He was very eager to talk before someone quieted him.
Sure. Who quieted him?
I didn't see them. They were
Ow.
outside.
Kraken Society.
I pick up the octopus. Was it you?
The octopus blinks at Will. And puts a few suckers on his face, and then takes them
I
away.
guess not. Anyway, what did we need the octopus for?
Oh, I just had the idea. I've seen you talk with some animals. I didn't know if you were able to communicate with him, maybe, or her, him. If it might be able to tell you some information about people that he was meeting with, or maybe where he has been. Because, he's carried him around on his shoulder whenever we saw him.
Yeah, sure. I'll just bring out a map and ask the octopus to point out where he was.
Listen, Will, I don't need any smart-ass remarks. I just thought it might have been a good idea and use your
Really, I have
expertise with
more.
animal. I'm sure you do. I've never questioned how sassy you can be. Sassy little gnome. At the very least, wouldn't you want to set him free?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But they require salt water, and this is a river.
What? I don't.
Yeah, it wouldn't. It's hot enough probably for him to breathe now.
Well,
You asked me to take him out of his aquarium.
I don't. And she's just very sheepish.
Intelligence checks, people. Intelligence checks.
I had an idea.
Okay. Intelligence. Not exactly yours. Best. Oh well, fuck me.
see, doubting yourself works.
Always doubt yourself. Have no belief in your ability.
You gotta love that. Anyway, Shuri, you suddenly think of, the octopus needs constant salt water. You've got at least one, maybe two alchemy jugs somewhere, possibly on you right now, or back in your hotel room. I forget if any of you brought characters that brought the alchemy jugs with you, if you just left them in the clubhouse.
No, Phaedra's got it in the bag of holding.
Yeah, so you realize that, you know what, that can be used to make salt water. You can easily keep your new octopus friend in comfort.
The alchemy job can make salt water.
Oh, good point. I have it in back at the hotel. Um, I do we need to go back and kind of looks at Fawn and Logan. I don't want anybody getting in trouble. I don't know. I guess it's too late now.
Well, we're already
Just,
off the
just
boat.
you're still gonna need to spend a little while walking back to town, but and it's that Will's in charge of keeping the octopus hydrated.
I dunk it in the river every once in a while.
Yeah.
I'm gonna change my cloak to look like a bigger. With my cloak of many fashions. When I'm hiding my face.
Vader
Sure, it just
undoes
looks-
her hair.
Sure, it just looks over back at like Logan, who's like, she's like, that makes you look more suspicious, right?
I just need to not look like myself because I've been kidnapped.
Make your face not look like yourself. Just
How about
pass
you
along,
worry
do it.
about yourself and not murder people?
I didn't murder anybody yet.
He didn't yet.
That
Yet?
Well, if he keeps annoying me, I might.
scary lady.
Vader's just undoing her beehive while they're walking. Just kind of like pulling out the pens and dropping.
How many pins are in there?
I have no goddamn idea. I've already pulled out 20.
That seems like a lot for a hairdo.
Well,
Yeah.
I will say this: it was very. Cinder could hide in there, and
Hmm.
and then she kind of like, as she's like pulling out the beehive, she like pulls out the note that she hid in here. Here, if you want to get rid of that.
Let's see. How she's gonna. All her stuff would be at the thing, so she wouldn't have her tinderbox.
Here, I got it. Actually, Cinder flies up to her shoulder, and she'll like hold it up and do a little flame breath, and catch the note on fire.
And it smells so much like cinnamon and nutmeg.
Here we go.
The cookie breath dragon
She
But
takes out the.
does the job.
Yeah.
When we get back to town, I think Will is going to be looking for like a pot big enough to hold. the
Alright.
octopus.
Are you looking to buy or are you just looking to procure?
No, take.
Okay. So when you get back to your inn, the hall, you do see that there is a slightly used cooking pot that's currently empty, but has some bits of cooked in food near one of the doors that looks like it could hold the octopus. Not necessarily completely comfortably, but enough to keep it submerged.
Okay.
Like, the equivalent of a tiny sleeping bag compared to a nice sprawling king bed.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it. No hesitation, just walk and take it.
Yoink. You get
Sure,
back.
also,
Dip.
once we get in to the room, we'll head back to that 500.
Thanks.
Your things are unmolested there.
Don't know what to do with the rest of this.
Yeah, I saw that you were very lucky on the table.
Oh, did you come out on top?
I started at 500 of those things and have 1,800.
Oh wow, you did do well.
Don't know what I did.
Nearly 4 times your original investment.
Good job. Save it. You never know what we might need it for in the future.
She nods.
Maybe. Whatever.
Hey, Yuri or Fedor, which one of you could fill up this pot with salt water?
I got it. Yeah, hold on.
You see that Will has somehow managed to procure himself a pot. That's almost as big as he is.
How are you carrying that?
I bought it.
Well, no insight there. I know that's a lie.
Four.
You asked him one question and he answered with a completely different answer.
Right.
You're both confused.
Anyway, here, and she'll take out the alchemy jug and say salt water, and she'll uncork salt water and stick it. And then
Salt
she'll
water
pour it in.
fills it, and the octopus detaches itself from Will and slides easily into the pot. And it taps the side of it as if to say, "I'm hoping you're not planning to cook me."
I don't think you're in calamari. What is calamari? Squid?
Calamari is
Squid.
squid.
Alright.
It's very tasty when prepared properly.
Sure, would literally immediately go into like a private area and change out of this.
So, what kind of questions would you like to ask the octopus? I look while I was looking at Phaedra in the eye.
Why do I feel like y'all are...
No. Let's hear the words of the wise octopus.
She kind of like sighs and like looks down and kind of sheepishly like is like scratching her like elbow. Just if it had heard anything about, the mother, or could identify, or I don't know, something about the society, people he was meeting with. I don't. Well, it was just.
All right. I'll give it a try.
Cinder crawls.
It's silly enough that it might just work.
Cinder crawls and like just crawls around her neck as like Phaedra looks down, and Cinder just starts purring, trying to comfort her.
Hey there, octopus guy.
What do you wish to use to communicate with the octopus?
Have you ever heard about the Sea Mother?
No, I mean, are you just using your standard gnome ability, or do you have speak with animals?
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna actually cast speak with animals. I'm using the stuff of the woodlands.
And are you going to instantly translate all the things the octopus says?
Yes.
For Phaedra. Okay, cool. All right. So the octopus just kind of like reaches over and taps you on the side of the head. You wish to know about the Sea Mother? Oh,
yes, of
you
course.
Understand me better now.
Yes,
good.
yes. Well, we needed to get somewhere more quiet before we could talk to you.
Well, she is a great deep one. She kind of like says it's in a reverential kind of way, the kind of way one might refer to a god or something similar to that.
You're like an apostle or something?
No, just in awe and reverie of such a glorious being. But she is a great deep one. She has many followers among the two-legged kind.
Mm-hmm.
including my my com- my companion who was nice enough to give me a small place to live inside that ship of his. Though it seems that the Sea Mother is done with him and has taken his life away.
Yes, he seemed very much dead.
Yes, yes.
How do you
I
feel
will,
about that?
I will miss riding around on his shoulder.
Well,
It was fun
uh,
to watch the strange two-legged creatures with their strange colorations and strange objects that they kept playing with.
I'm going to probably bring you back to the ocean. I hope you're not too
That's
against that idea.
kind of scary. There are a lot of things that will try to eat me in the ocean.
Well, that's nature.
Yes, yes. I'm going to miss my friend after all of that, having to go back to potentially being eaten.
Mm-hmm. Well, don't get eaten.
The octopus taps Will on the nose.
Anyway, do you know anything about the people who revere the Sea Mother?
Oh, there are many of them. Sometimes
Any
they
kind of thing they have in common?
sometimes they would be completely robed up. You wouldn't be able to see their features. Um, that have like robes on and everything,
What
hoods.
color robes that has something
Uh,
emblazoned on them?
green usually.
Green robes.
Yes.
All right. And was there usually a specific spot they met, like next to the ocean, or did they just meet up anywhere?
Well, often they would talk to my friend in the cabin that we shared.
Ah, all right. Did he ever take you to somewhere else?
Well, sometimes there would be another ship, and there was this really big two legs on it, tied down,
Mm-hmm. And
kind
this
of
was
unmoving, but I think alive.
so this was like away from the river and into the ocean.
Oh no, this is definitely the ocean, all salt, and there'd be of course evil birds flying above.
Ah, yes, evil birds. I know them.
Yes, I would have to keep my tentacles curled tightly around his arms so that the evil birds wouldn't come drag me away.
Ah, yes, evil birds. Uh, well, all right. I suppose you wouldn't really know where you went after you left the river, like in the
Back
ocean.
into the
Did you just
cabin, of course.
ah, yes. Well, I mean, yeah.
Good
Anything
safe
else
water.
useful you could tell me about dealings your former roommate had with the cult?
I can't think of anything.
Hmm.
Do you really have to put me back in the ocean?
Well, I ain't keeping you.
What about the grabby the grabby one with the stubby fingers?
What, Phaedra?
Yeah, gestures at Phaedra.
I don't know. I'll ask her, but don't keep your hopes
No,
up.
no, no. I don't want to go with that one.
Oh, poor Phaedra.
Phaedra, beloved by kobolds, hated by octopi.
I don't know. I mean, what would you rather have? Should I take you to pet shop?
What's a pet shop?
Well, it's a place where you can, well, two-legged people take care of other beings.
Maybe.
I'll make sure to bring you to a pet shop and not a restaurant.
What's a restaurant?
The opposite of what I just said. Well, they do take care of you.
That's one way to put it.
Oh god.
I'll see about it. If there is no pet shop around, you're going in the ocean. But maybe I don't know. Maybe you could charm a fisherman or something to take you in as a pet. Though I doubt it.
Maybe I wonder if I give enough of those coins that you people seem to value enough, maybe that'll make somebody become my new roommate?
What do you mean, give coins?
Well, I've always seen. I always saw my friend giving people those strange coins to people, and they seem to be willing to do things for him after that.
Oh yeah, that's how society works apparently.
Yes, if I had enough of those coins, would I be able to?
You're trying to buy yourself a new like master.
A new roommate.
You okay? Right. And how are you going to make those money?
I don't know.
And how are you going to communicate that you are simply, asking to be a roommate and not hiring them to, I don't know, kill someone? Why wouldn't they just
Well,
take
you
your money?
apparently can talk to me. Maybe you can be the one to talk to them.
You're turning out to be much more of a bother than you're worth, honestly. I'm going to take you to a pet store, and after that, it is a good luck for you. Quite honestly, who do you think you are? Don't worry, I'll keep you safe until that time comes.
The octopus sulks back in the salt water.
And I turn my back to it and walk towards Phaedra. Well, it wasn't an all bad idea, Phaedra.
Phaedra's just sitting up. She's like sitting, leaning against a, kind of looking just very, I don't know, sheepish.
The octopus has seen the giant.
Oh.
Confirmed it's alive.
Yes, it's alive, apparently, I think. Asleep but alive.
Alright.
On a ship. Out in the ocean. So that confirms what you said, Yuri.
She knows.
And, well, not really anything I know about the cult, except that they're wearing green robes.
Okay.
It'd be good to know what. Sure, you're kind of. Pat Painter's head.
Is anyone here interested in keeping an octopus as a pet?
What?
What?
Well, it's looking for a new roommate.
I feel like Shore would look at Fawn.
Why you look at me?
I mean, you did take in all those kobolds. I mean, well, not you. Never mind.
It's willing to pay you.
What?
With what money?
It has
Yeah, it
money?
doesn't have any.
Then how can it pay?
I don't know. It's a weird one, alright? It has like half understanding of commons.
Well, I mean,
It understands it needs money to do stuff, but it also has no idea of how to get money.
I mean, it's Waterdeep is close to the ocean.
Yep,
We could,
I could just toss it in there.
or we could, I don't know, get him a tank and put it in the bar.
Are you seriously thinking about that?
I'm sorry, I guess I'm just not. Never mind.
You're fine.
Are you alright, Phaedra?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Shore just narrows her eyes. You and I both know that does not sound fine.
Do you need an octopus to share you? They give great hugs.
I just feel stupid, that's all.
Why do
No,
you feel
don't.
stupid?
Your idea was odd, but it gave us some information and it confirmed Shiori's, well, information.
So it was brilliant. She rubs her shoulders.
You have to understand, I'm always sassy.
I don't know. I didn't mean for us to get implicated in this murder.
Oh, what's that? Doesn't matter.
Does it?
No, the man would have died anyway eventually.
I'm trying to think more. Just, I guess, I don't know.
I suggest we.
If you want, I could go back and sink the boat.
No. I feel like that's going in the wrong direction of things we want to.
That's going the complete opposite direction in what.
I'm just saying.
That's just making the problem
How
even
could there be an
worse.
investigation if there is no body?
I mean,
Okay,
they'll have
trying
a
to
messed up logic.
Try not to
But it
laugh.
works.
I'm having
Damn it,
flashbacks to the back to Heinz and back to the
There's
heist
logic
episode.
There's logic behind it, but it's messed up.
well, it's also the fact that people would investigate a sinking boat in the middle of the river.
Just remove the town investigating it.
Okay, that's only gonna escalate. I just.
That's
A-
gonna escalate the
Aki
problem.
is now face palming.
Eventually, people are going to realize to stop asking questions.
There'll always be people asking questions.
There will always be people mysteriously disappearing.
It'll only grow.
Phaedra will look over to Logan and just say, I'm sorry if I ruined your reputation. I wanted us to get out of danger. That's all.
Oh, yeah. I would say we were kind of in danger. There was one intimidating lady on the boat, and well, the crew looked like they could pack a punch.
Yes. Elise said that she can handle herself. Before, one of you still trying to scare me, I suppose. However, if you gotta keep it in fact that most of us were not armored or well equipped weaponry wise.
Do you think a fight would have broken out?
If they saw the body, yes.
More than likely.
My guess would be there would be an inquisition to find out who is guilty and who is not. Which now is going to happen with
More than likely.
5 people not on the boat.
Yes.
Well, the cause of death, what was it?
What? They're bleeding
Yeah,
from
what-
like the
what was
eyes
the
and
cause?
ears, right?
My guess is
Yep.
poison, but
No, he bled from the eyes and the ears, so something magical.
yes. I don't know.
Magical?
Or poison.
Great.
He was drinking wine. I didn't
I-
drink it.
I hope the answer is poison.
I think either way we are in trouble.
Aki's just kind of looking at you guys. It's the Kraken cult. They did that.
Sure.
It was a psychic
Okay.
blast.
We
That's
know
nice.
that. Do the people on the boat know that?
Well, here's the thing. I imagine his bodyguard, the well-off one, knew I was meeting. So more than likely, if she found a body and we were still in there, I would have been prime suspect along with anybody else that they arrived with on the ship.
Yes.
And do you
No.
think a fight wouldn't have broken out then?
And
If we
also,
just surrender.
Which would
I
be
don't surrender.
Aki's looking at you. That'd be me, you, and Fun. Phaedra and Logan and Will would not have been implicated in that.
Do you think Phaedra wouldn't have intervened if we got into a fight?
I mean, if they come
Then
looking
what
for
about
us
me?
now. I'm not talking about if we'd
Yeah.
stayed there.
Now all of us are implicated.
not me.
And we fled. Yeah,
You would
not
have been all
you.
implicated either
And
way.
no, I would have been out of it, and Fun would have been fine. I don't know, Will would have been fine. And we could have just, like, talked it out. Now they're actively hunting us.
That's what I'm trying
Also,
to say.
they killed him to quiet him. Wouldn't, like, his bodyguard understand that he was quieted?
Yeah.
Perhaps, but like I was saying, they know we were with Thon, me, and Aki, correct?
Sure.
If Phaedra was known to be with you, Logan, and got into the fight, that would also implement you.
So you're saying it would have been exactly the same, except they've even more reason to suspect us.
And we can actually defend ourselves better.
Are
Do
you
you want to be on a
sure?
boat full
What,
of a bunch of people
Francie?
that can fight back with no
You,
armor?
My guess is they would probably try to arrest us.
Since when have we ever surrendered?
Phaedra raises her head. If that second in command was familiar with the society as well, which I would imagine she was, I would imagine she would also know the cause of death to be familiar, possibly, for those
yeah,
that
that's what I'm saying.
carry the
And do you
Kraken
think she
cult.
would care to not implement us anyway? She would have implemented us no matter what.
Why? Because she has a
Because they don't want their
better
secret
suspect?
society.
Okay, he's just kind of looking back and forth between the group of you. I think my sound cut out, guys. I don't hear anything. Testing.
You didn't do it.
I can't, guys. I haven't been able to hear anything you said in the last 30 seconds.
Oh,
No, we didn't know that.
we
Sorry.
didn't know that.
Yeah,
We're just arguing about how bad the situation is.
Yeah, so last I heard was something Kraken Society, and then everything went quiet, and I thought for a moment that you guys had just fallen silent thinking about it until I could see that Evil Fluffy's thing was there, and I was about to start posting saying, I can't hear anything, and the sound finally came back.
Phaedra just basically pointed out that if the second in command was familiar with it, with the society, which I would imagine with her being second in command,
Okay.
she would know that the way that he was killed would be something connected to somebody who betrays, or she had seen it before, I'm guessing, if she's connected. That's all. That's all Phaedra said. And
How
that she's
about next time a crime happens, we just report it like normal people?
There is a problem with that line of thinking. How would we have reported it on the bloody boat?
Yes.
We walk to the people who are in charge of security and go like, oh,
Then
hey,
they would blame.
that
then they would
guy
blame
was
us.
poisoned. Why would we go to them and say the guy was poisoned right in front of us?
Okay.
If we did it, that's counterintuitive. So
Answer me this.
at least that way we would have that argument. Now we fled it.
Answer me this: if you were part of a secret cult that didn't want to be discovered? Would you admit? Would you blame the people that are saying, "Oh, he died to a poison," or would you try to have an
Is
investigation?
everyone on that boat a fucking cultist?
No.
I don't think so.
Aki looks over at Logan and says, there was enough of them on board that hiding and not, that there would have been a problem.
Imagine more than just one. No.
And if it comes to it, that, oh no, someone is investigating the murder of whoever that was, just blame me, whatever. They can't catch me.
Well, we'll blame the Kraken Society when we take down the Kraken Society.
Sure, because we don't have enough.
Write a ballad about the murder from Will.
You just want a song to be about you, don't you, Will?
No?
insight.
It would be fun.
Phaedra still is hanging her head, but she cracks a small smile for just a second.
Aww.
Anyhow, we got what we came for.
Did we?
Information about the location of
The Stone King, yes.
the Storm King.
Yes, we got as
Call
much
him
as we
the
could.
for some reason, I always want to call him the Thunder Lord, but alright.
So what exactly did we learn?
Where he is.
And
No,
where
there's
is
a ship
that?
a ship called Morgoth that's by the Northern Isles. And as a player, I don't know how to spell or pronounce that name.
Let's see. The Northern Isles that you were told is the Trackless Sea. The ship itself is the Morkoth.
Okay.
And it's apparently undetectable.
And thanks to the octopus that Phaedra had me interrogate, we also know that the Storm King is alive, and that the cultists on the ship are wearing green robes. So if we come there, see a ship with covered in people in green robes with a sleeping giant on it, we know we're at the right place.
Where is the Trackless Sea? I'm trying to find it on the map.
I lost track of it.
It said Northern Isles, but I'm looking at this and going, huh. But that's just the regular map, so I'm gonna move us to the big map just for a second to see where it is. Okay, here's the Sword Coast. There's the Trackless Sea, I think. Let's see, zoom in. There's Whalebones, there's Trackless Sea. Ah, and there's the various islands in the Northern Sea.
What side of the map is it on? The left hand? Oh,
Top, yep, very top left corner.
Yeah, right there.
the
there you
purple
go.
rocks. Okay.
Those are at least the northern island that would be considered. Oh wait,
No,
Northlander Islands. That's what he was talking about. No. I guess the Trackless Sea goes all the way down here, so maybe he's talking about Ruthenham or the Whalebones. I was just thinking north of that location. You're in Yartar. We're in Yartar right now. That's actually southwest of you, but it is directly west of Waterdeep.
Okay.
So, which means all you have to do is get back to Waterdeep, and which you have a way of getting to instantaneously, and finding a way of getting out that way, and you should be able to find it. The Northern Islands, which is like Ruthenham and Whalebones, I believe. That's what he was talking about.
Yes, the Northlander Isles. Right, let's see. So we got a lot of useful information. Put this to an end.
And then once we get the Storm King, we can go back to the other giants and tell that dragon to go itself.
Go itself.
Oh my god! That is awesome!
I'm very impressed by your whistling.
I couldn't resist.
That was
love that
so
voice.
awesome.
Oh.
Because you never hear censoring in real life.
All right, now we need you to censor everyone when we say a bad word.
Going with that.
Yeah.
There.
Ooh.
Yeah. Good. Yeah.
This actually means looking at the location of where the Maelstrom is, which is where you ran into the giants. He's actually not that far from them. Because the Maelstrom itself, according to the map I'm looking at, is actually about there.
Really?
Yep, and if the ship is circling the Northern Islands, he is incredibly close to where they're at. He actually hasn't moved very far. They just can't find him because of whatever's going on there.
Perfect.
Figured out how to bind a button to that. It's fine.
Fader kind of just looks up at Will saying perfect.
Well, we can finish off the whole giants being all pissed.
She nods. Yeah.
Besides, they don't know where we are, anyways.
So should we head back down to Waterdeep as soon as we can, and then I don't know, take a ship?
Does that stone need us to be there, or can we do it from here?
You can use that stone anywhere to get back to Waterdeep, back to the position that you left in. It doesn't have to. You don't have to go back to Tribor to do that.
All right.
She'll take
I
us
say we
in.
leave now.
Alright, well, have you grabbed everything from your rooms? Don't forget anything.
There's only you guys only got the one room, because
Yeah.
it's just to store your stuff.
Sure, we got all her stuff. Imagine that's basically just like one bag. He's very on the move kind of character.
Will grabs the pot with the octopus.
Phaedra grabs her bag of holding. She's still wearing the dress, but her hair is down.
All right. Ah, that's why I couldn't find it.
Back to Waterdeep.
And transition.
Phew.
You and the octopus, and you're back to Waterdeep. It's the middle of the night, so there's not customers around. But you got some kobolds there playing dice games. They're a bit startled as you guys just arrive. Okay, so these two aren't there right now, so move them off the map.
Talon would be off doing shenanigans.
Rick would probably be just finishing trying tidying up and all that before going to bed.
Yeah, and the kobolds are just they're gathered around one of the tables. They've got like little mugs of ale, and they're playing dice.
What the hell?
And they see Phaedra just show up, and they're like, "Mommy!" and
Hey, guys.
kind of go rushing to hug her.
Bye, Logan.
She's. I'm gonna.
You're under a kobold pile for a moment.
Oh. Okay. So, we're gonna have a new friend maybe in the bar? I don't know.
New
I
friend?
want to keep him.
Or are you gonna set him free, or are we gonna keep him? I don't
I
know.
was gonna see if there's a pet shop. If you want to, I can go and acquire an aquarium. Acquire an aquarium. Ah,
Yeah, it might be nice. We could put it somewhere in the bar. I mean, we have little mementos from like everything we've done. This is a part of
oh,
what we're doing.
yes, that's quite an interesting way of thinking of it.
I mean, she points up, we have the dragon skull, we have the minotaur skulls, we have the wyvern skull, we
And
have
what
the petrified people in the basement.
Yeah, I don't
Points
like
down.
the basement.
I could have put a tub on them.
You put a what on them? A tub? Oh, table.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It makes me
Oh,
made it
yeah.
worse.
Yeah, that's not like imagine the reveal.
I kind
Yeah.
of want to borrow them for a moment.
Hi, Gamma.
Kevin.
Can you
Wow.
imagine waking up with that in your bed?
I'm off to acquire an aquarium.
It's the middle of the night, Will.
Doesn't matter.
He's gonna go acquire one.
Aki is just staring after him and shaking his head.
Well, are you successful?
And Gabrielle can clearly see there's an octopus in an iron pot that has some bits of food stuck to the pot.
You know, I'll leave it here.
Hello,
Yeah.
friend.
Oh, yeah, we got some information. I'm gonna I'm gonna tuck in for the night. You can tell Cam out, Sherry.
Do you? I can come with.
If you want.
The kobolds let Phaedra go at this point.
And she's gonna go sit up top for a little bit and clear her mind.
The octopus peers up at Galmil, blinking. It ushers forth a tentacle and just taps at him.
Fun, Aki.
Aki
How
kind of looks
successful?
over at him. Only one
Aki,
person
can
dead
explain
might
the
be
situation.
might be considered successful with this group.
Well, no one died.
No, one person dead.
No one of the group.
No one in the group. And the group now has a new member. It looks like. Looks over at the octopus. Gamil, roll a wisdom saving throw.
He made friends with an octopus back in the Feywild.
Yeah, that's the point.
Push over Gilman.
So you look down at the octopus, and while it's not the right color, you are sadly reminded of Charles.
Oh.
He stares at it.
It stares back as Aki continues to talk, saying, "The Kraken it's the Kraken Society again. This time they're here. They're still trying to raise the Sea Mother."
Ah, so the two things, the storm giants, are more high than we realized?
Yes.
Oh, that's, like, good, isn't it? Two birds, one stone.
Yes. Perhaps we can keep the Sea Mother sleeping.
Sing the proper love.
That's a
Some
thought.
lullabies are more violent than others.
Well, if that's the case, we should probably bring the bard along with us when we go to the trackless sea, to the northern islands.
He seemed grumpy.
Well, he hadn't got paid for his performance, I think. And being
Ah.
taken out of that place, he thinks that he's going to be suspected of murder again.
I could fix that.
How so?
Well, it depends if he wants to be paid for murder somewhere else.
Excuse me?
I'm joking. No, I mean, if things push comes to shove and people start coming here asking questions, I can lead them astray.
Not sure if they would know
Lead
to
them on
come here.
proper-
This is
I
back in
doubt it.
Yartar.
Yes, but if they do, well, rest assured, I will be vigilant.
That is good to know. And I think
He'll
it's
just
go ahead.
stand up and he's just gonna stand up and walk. Go sleep somewhere.
And I think at this point, we will end the session here for the next 2 weeks. Since next Saturday and Sunday, a lot of us are busy with other things. I've got my dad's birthday to prepare for and everything like that. So it's like there'll be no D&D for our group next weekend. But yeah, so it's back in 2 weeks for more on the road.
But we haven't resolved the
I'm
most
gonna
important
be-
thing.
What?
Does Will acquire an aquarium?
I think it's safe to say Will can find pretty much anything he sets his mind to. And
Uh,
yes,
cool.
in this case, he's going to